Loud bells jolted me awake. Bang, bang, bang. Some guy outside was screaming about handing out free wives. Trust me, stick around for this wild ride. I knew my old delivery guy life was totally over after that car crash. Now, I am stuck in a new body sharing my exact name, Sun Jian. The memories flooded in. This original Sun Jian, totally useless. Just a broke scholar who bombed his exams over and over. His folks passed away from starvation, and his fiancée, she totally ditched him for his own cousin. The whole village wanted him to starve just to steal his tiny shack. He was famished. Honestly, my past life was not much of an upgrade either. I graduated college just to hustle food deliveries in a yellow coat, with absolutely zero romantic luck. One bad crash at an intersection, and boom, I'm stuck in this chaotic fantasy realm. Get out here. If you skip this, no wife for you, and it is straight to the front lines. I dragged my frail body outdoors. This new world was totally wrecked by 4 warring kingdoms. Total chaos and severe famine everywhere. Villagers were going absolutely mad from the extreme hunger in the town square. Armored guards surrounded captured women of all ages. The head guard smacked his gong loudly, announcing that our empire was losing too many soldiers. His order? Every single guy here must claim a captive wife. They wanted us to boost the empire's population immediately. The local guys howled like wild wolves, pointing and cheering. I just froze. After 20 years single, this felt like completely insane luck. But then the guard dropped a bomb. 50 pounds of grain monthly for each wife. The cheering stopped instantly. 50 pounds was way more than anyone could farm. Suddenly, the romance was over. Guys started backing away fast. Now watch closely. Things get crazy here. Guards drew their blades. Nobody leaves. Pick a wife or get drafted. I froze. This was a total forced setup. I just respawned here. I was not ready to get wiped out yet. My strategy? Lay low, survive, and quietly level up my strength. The other dudes grabbed sturdy women with wide frames, basically looking for free farm labor. I stared at the gorgeous ones, totally stuck. Suddenly, a chime rang in my head. Ding. Suitable host located. Favor system is now syncing. Zhao Weiner favor +1. Gi Jian favor +2. Chu Qingqing favor +1. An actual system. The ultimate cheat code for any Isuke hero. I almost screamed out loud in joy. A guard glared, so I zipped my lips and stared at the glowing floating screen. The interface displayed 3 names. First, Zhao Weiner, the 3rd royal princess. Next, Gi Jian, a fierce rebel female general. And Chu Qingqing, a ruined noble daughter. All 3 were right here in the captive lineup. Seriously? An actual princess in the dirt? No time to overthink this. The system explained that boosting their affection stats would unlock massive rewards for me. If affection dropped, they would bail or permanently silence me. I grinned at the guard. Sir, I will take her, and that one too. Dead silence dropped over the village. Everyone stared in shock. The other guys were complaining about taking just one. You and I both know this was reckless. I picked 3 delicate beauties. Then, ding. Zhao Weiner favor -1. A flashing red warning light. A cold sweat hit me. The princess glared daggers at me. I could practically hear her plotting to make me pay for being a greedy creep. Affection meters were super volatile. I needed to tread lightly. Suddenly, my awful cousin's son, Hao, marched right over. With a scarred face, he smacked my shoulder hard, laughing loudly. 3 wives? Your pathetic stick body cannot handle that. Plus 150 pounds of grain? You are finished. Stop embarrassing the family. The rest of the village cackled. They ruthlessly mocked my skinny frame, joking I would collapse on day 1. I remembered the bitter grudge between my host body and son. How? I just stared him down calmly, then faced the guards. Excuse me, sir, you did say the more the better, right? Is he interfering with your orders? The guards instantly snapped at Sun Hao, threatening him with execution if he messed around. Sun Hao flinched, backing away fast, but his glare screamed pure payback. Time was officially up. The head guard barked his final orders. Take your wives and go. In exactly 1 month, I collect the grain, miss the payment, and you march to the front lines. Sun Hao and the locals smirked coldly. They thought I was a total idiot, trading my survival for girls. To them, my 1-month countdown had started. I brushed it off. Turning to my 3 gorgeous wives, I waved. Ladies, time to head home with your new husband. Zhao Weiner, Gi Jian, and Chu Qingqing exchanged complicated glances. Their expressions were unreadable, but slowly, one by one, they followed my lead. The journey back was super awkward. Nosy villagers pointed and whispered nasty rumors the whole way. But whatever, I ignored them. I brought my ultimate trio to my busted up shack. Listen, wives, the place is practically falling apart. We barely have chairs. Try to ignore the mess. Honestly, I felt embarrassed. Back in the modern world, not even a stray dog would sleep here. The mice probably felt bad for me, but Chu Ching King gave me a super gentle look. I do not mind. Without you, nobody would have picked me. I would have become a miserable servant, or worse. You actually rescued me. I promised to be a wonderful wife. The system chimed instantly. Chu Ching King favor, +5. I held back a laugh. One honest sentence and her stats were already soaring. She had elite manners. The others stayed quiet. But here is what you and I know: this insane survival game has only just begun. Let us dive right in. Without me, they would be completely lost. Then, a tiny rumble. Wayner's hungry stomach. The princess blushed so hard, looking away. She had not eaten all day. Gi Jin felt it too, but as a total warrior, she handled the hunger way better than anyone else. I facepalmed immediately. Look at me chatting away and totally forgetting to feed you. Go sit down. Time to cook. I rushed to the kitchen. Behind me, Chu Ching King gently reminded the other two that we were all family now, so they should start bonding. They quietly shared their names. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, I just stared at my completely empty rice pot. Literally nothing left. I promised a feast, but had zero food. So embarrassing. But wait, my amazing system. Checking the screen, Chu Ching King's favor was already at 10. Perfect for a reward drop. System, give me my sweet reward. Bring me food. The voice chimed in. Boom. 150 instant noodles, 100 pounds of rice, and a massive jug of oil. It literally spawned right in front of me. I almost jumped through the roof. This system is absolutely legendary. My plan? Grind more favor points to buy extra goods and clear that grain tax in 1 month. Right now though, instant noodles are on the menu. Quick and delicious. I washed the pot and boiled water. Soon, a massive pot of hot noodles was ready, smelling absolutely incredible. I called the girls over, and their eyes completely bulged out. They honestly expected me to serve up wild weeds and some watery rice soup. Pure shock. Chu Ching King spoke up first. Husband, what is this magic? Wayner listened incredibly closely. Being a royal princess, she had tasted every luxury dish imaginable, but nothing like this. She stared at me, totally amazed and super curious. Maybe I was not just some broke village peasant after all. Gi Jin also watched me closely from the corner of her eye. Instant noodles, ladies, dig in. I handed out 3 massive bowls. Joanna took a single bite and completely lost all of her self-control. Wow, unbelievable. I never knew food like this existed. Then she instantly blushed, so ashamed she had dropped her royal manners. The other two were absolutely amazed. They had never tasted anything like it. Eat up, ladies. There is definitely plenty more left. Chu Ching King gave me a huge smile. Husband, you are way too kind. Please eat too. Sitting down with my bowl, I realized I had a new world, 3 stunning wives, and hometown food. I felt incredibly lucky. Slow down, nobody will take it. If you guys want more, I will just cook some more. The princess blushed bright red again. She really tried to eat like elegant royalty, but the noodles were just too epic. The others were exactly identical. Dinner finished, and I gained even more sweet favor points just by showing kindness. Zhao Wayner's favor actually bumped up by a solid 2 points. Awesome. I did not have to stress about her assassinating me mid-slumber. But then night finally fell, bedtime arrived, and a huge problem hit me. Picture this problem for us. 3 wives, 1 bed. If I just say what I want, those favor points will completely tank. Hitting negative points meant game over for me. Wayner noticed my pure panic, pointed straight at the wooden bed, and declared, I will take the bed tonight. Gi Jin immediately volunteered, I will take the hard floor. Chu Ching King looked super bashful. Husband, but before she could finish, a loud knock interrupted us. Bang, 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 super loud. I will get it. You 3 decide where to sleep. I yanked the door open. Sun Hao stood there with his terribly ugly, scarred face, gripping a small bag. Sun Hao, what do you actually want tonight, cousin? I bet you guys are starving. Look, I brought some grain. He popped the bag open. Inside, Nasty, old yellow grain, entirely covered in gross mold. Oh, I completely recognize this dirty trick. Weasels do not bring chickens holiday presents. My voice dropped totally cold. Somehow no one else is here but us right now. Stop the act. Just say what you want. The fake smile vanished from his face. Fine. I will be completely honest. I want to trade this entire bag of rice for one single night with that gorgeous wife of yours. You know, the busty one. What is your answer? The biggest chest. That meant Zhao Weiner, the prestigious third princess of Du, and somehow actually believed some rotten rice bought him a night with absolute royalty. He was absolutely delusional. I practically laughed out loud. Somehow noticed my grin and completely misunderstood. Oh, you smiled. So you agree. I knew you were completely starving. This grain saves your life tonight. Do not even bother thanking me. Now, just bring me to your wife. I promise I will. Go easy. He reached out, face practically dripping with pure greed. Thinking I was still that pathetic old Sun Jian, he honestly believed the other two girls would be effortless next. Here is where it gets crazy. Pay close attention. He figured he gets my wives for free while I perish from taxes. Too bad. I am definitely not the old Sun Jian. Back off. You disgust me. I pushed him back. He stood there totally shocked for a full minute. Then his expression darkened with extreme rage. Sun Jian, you tricked me. So what? Get out. He suddenly snatched a wooden stick from the side, swinging it straight at my head. No time to dodge. But suddenly, a rapid blur flew past me. Gi Jin. She casually caught the stick like absolutely nothing, glaring at Sun Hao with totally freezing eyes. She listened secretly behind the door, deeply worried about me. Hearing that pathetic trade offer left her completely disgusted, but also surprisingly amused. My incredible instant noodles totally demolished his pathetic rotten rice. Back in her previous life, she would have completely eliminated Sun Hao on the spot. But now, she refused to cause me any extra trouble. Sun Hao desperately tried to yank his stick back using all of his absolute strength. Face bright red. Sun Jian, hiding behind a woman, have some shame. Trust me, you and I will love his upcoming karma. Let's dive right in. Tell her to let go and fight me. I walked over, patted his cheek. Sun Hao, you were totally wrong. A wife defending her husband is perfectly fine. Men and women are absolute equals here. Whoever said ladies are any less? Hearing me say they are equals made Gai Jin tremble slightly. She stared at me with curious eyes, quietly whispering to herself about what a strange guy I was. The system chimed in. Gai Jin favor, +2. I signaled my wife to release him. He crashed hard onto the dirt, scrambled to his feet, and quickly ran off. He turned around and shouted, Sanj, my older brother works at the county office. You are completely finished. I already knew this. His brother Sanhu was a minor leader at the county office. Both of them constantly bullied the old Sun Jian, back when he was much younger. But that did not scare me at all. If his brother showed up, I would settle every single old and new debt together. Gai Jin looked uneasy. I caused trouble for you. I casually waved my hand. When trouble arrives, we just face it. She stared at me in pure shock. I sounded like an educated scholar. I cooked magic noodles. Was I really just a poor villager? We headed back indoors. Chu Qingqing was super worried and asked what happened. I explained everything. Weiner got so furious her face darkened. She stomped her foot hard. Shameless. Disgusting. This palace will surely. She caught herself and froze. Now pay attention here. This palace? Gai Jin gave her a suspicious look. So her sister was hiding her real identity too, just like Gi Jin was hiding hers. Chu Qingqing was too innocent and totally missed it. Then it was bedtime. Weiner strictly pointed right at the bed. We three get the bed. You sleep down on the floor. Try anything funny, and Zi Jin will ruin you. You saw her crazy strength. Chu Qingqing just laughed softly. Gi Jin shot me a sharp warning glare. I shrugged and set up my bed on the floor. 3 stunning wives. So close. But I could only stare. The battle is not won yet. This worker must keep trying. I finally fell asleep. Sometime later, I felt warm arms hugging me. I woke up instantly. It was Chu Qingqing. Her face was totally red. Husband, today is our actual wedding day. A wife should give herself to her husband. You are a great man. I want to do my duty as your wife. But for right now, I'd only stay close to you like this. Please do not be mad at me. My heart felt incredibly warm. I held her close. Silly girl. Why would I be mad? You all met me during a rough patch. Feeling a bit unsure is completely normal. When the timing is absolutely perfect, I will give you all a massive wedding. That will be our true night. She trembled slightly, looking at me with teary eyes. Husband, you are incredibly kind. Meeting you is my greatest luck. Then, the system spoke up again. Chu-Ching favor, plus 10. New reward ready. I was absolutely thrilled. Wife, tell me about your past. She nodded slowly. I was born into a wealthy southern silk family. My parents refused to work with corrupt officials and hurt the hardworking farmers who carefully grew our silkworms. So, an evil official completely framed us. Over 100 family members perished inside those cells. A mysterious figure only managed to save me. She started crying. I hugged her tight. Wife, please do not cry. I promise I will get justice for them. That corrupt official will definitely pay. Yes, husband, I completely believe you. Across the room, Gai Jin quietly rolled over. She whispered incredibly softly to herself, will you get real justice for me too? Slowly, the morning sky grew lighter. You and I both know peace never lasts. I woke up, went to claim my sweet system reward, and suddenly, someone furiously banged on our front door. Trouble, massive trouble. Sunjin, open up. I yanked the door open. A panicked middle-aged man wearing rough clothes stood right there. He had red stains on his clothes. Your old yellow ox got destroyed. It was not me. Please do not blame me. Yellow ox? What ox? I rubbed my eyes, still feeling half asleep. Then those old memories flooded back. The original son, Jean, owned one ox. It was literally the only valuable thing his family had left. He let a guy borrow it to plow a field. That exact guy was standing before me. His name was Lao Jiang. He was known as a totally honest village man. His uncle worked at the county office, giving his family some small farming fields. Not rich, but not starving either. My ox is gone? Damn it. Who ruined it? I grabbed his collar. That ox was the only thing my new parents left for this body. Now, someone had completely destroyed it. These old memories were affecting me super strongly. Sunjin, it really was not me at all. Sanhao went totally crazy. He crashed into the ox on purpose, claiming the ox hit him. He pulled a blade and struck it right in the chest. You need to hurry and look. The poor ox is fading. You can still drag it back and save the meat. If you wait, you get nothing. Lao Jiang meant well. That is exactly why he warned me about Sanhao. That absolute scumbag again. I knew it instantly. The ox never charged him. This was just Sanhao taking pathetic revenge for last night. The original son, Jin, got horribly bullied by Sanhao for years. The worst incident? Sanhao stole half of their precious medicine money. My mother needed it, making the family nearly starve that month. The old me was too weak to resist. But not anymore. New and old debts get settled today. He wants to be wrecked. I will gladly help. Lao Jiang grabbed my arm, terrified. Do not go get yourself hurt. Sanhao is with Sanhu, his older brother, and the tough head of the county guards. Huge guy, massive beard, and incredibly vicious in a fight. Trust me, you're going to want to see this clash. Once he beat 4 strong men alone. Even my uncle fears Sanhu. Let's dive right into this wild story. Can you fight him? I just smiled coldly. Sanhu, doesn't matter. Take the ox back. And keep quiet. La Jiang sprinted away. He wanted zero trouble. Glancing at my skinny arms, I forced a sad smile. The past Sun Jian was just a frail scholar, barely eating king-like walking bones. Taking on Sunhao was tough enough. Facing Sunhu, that was absolute madness. But you can't always play it safe. With guys like Sunhu and Sunhao around, staying quiet just means they'll push you even harder. Then it hit me. I had a system. Time to put it to the test. System. Open the panel. Roll 1 standard lottery. Give me strength. The voice chimed back. I just scored a complete set of Tongbei boxing techniques. Instantly, all that knowledge flooded my brain. My power spiked by 18 points. The shiny new panel displayed 58 strength, 40 speed, 80 intelligence, and 60 charm. The system explained 50 was totally average, while 80 was peak human capacity. I stared at my arms. Genuine muscle was literally expanding right before my eyes. I felt incredibly strong, absolutely buzzing with fresh energy. Sunhao, just wait. I'm coming for you. I marched out the door. But here is the twist. Right after I left, Jair peeked out the door behind me. She was actually wide awake when Lao Jiang arrived earlier. She caught every single word. Watching me march off, a tiny smirk crossed her face. Not bad. He's actually got some nerve. I totally underestimated him. System chimed in my room. Jaeer's affection just jumped by 2 points. If I backed down and let Sunhao win, she'd forever see me as a total joke. Barely worth noticing. Yet I somehow passed her hidden test. But can he actually win? Don't get yourself destroyed out there. Pausing briefly, she slipped out to follow me. As a hidden princess, she'd been secretly training in combat since childhood. Not legendary general level, but totally enough to wreck a village thug. She didn't love me yet, but I provided food and completely saved her life. She couldn't just sit back doing nothing. Then, moments later, another shadow pushed the door open. It was Gai Jin, quietly watching Joanna sneak away. Her gorgeous eyes narrowed sharply. That woman is definitely hiding something. I knew it. She sensed a truly unique aura around Joanna during dinner tonight. She'd been watching her in secret. Her instincts were completely right. Joanna really knew how to fight. She wasn't some ordinary captured captive. How genuinely fascinating. Nobody here is as simple as they pretend to be. Let's see how this plays out. Shutting the door softly, she tailed us too. Watch closely, this is where the tension peaks. 3 of us hunting Sunhao, completely unaware of his fate. I marched fast down the dark village road, gripping a sickle. My steps felt incredibly powerful and sure. Before, just a tiny walk left me exhausted and gasping. But right now, my body burned warm. Endless power surged through my veins. This system was legitimately real. I hadn't gone far when a campfire caught my eye. Sitting around the blazing flames were 7 or 8 guys rocking official guard uniforms. They literally chopped my poor yellow ox into pieces, roasting the meat over the fire. One young guard chugged some wine, aggressively tearing into a massive chunk of fresh beef. This old ox was skinny, but the meat pairs perfectly with good wine. The rest of the crew stuffed their faces just like him. During these brutal times, only wealthy city elites feasted on rich meat and fine wine like this. But corrupt guards like these guys, they stole whatever they pleased. Sunhao suddenly stood up, totally half drunk, clutching a giant hunk of roasted meat. Eat up, everyone. Blame the stupid ox for bumping into your master. Sunhao laughed. Was I even a real man? His cautious brother, Sun, who never acted this reckless. Wait, isn't this Sun Jin's ox? Pushing him this far feels wrong. His parents literally starved. This animal was his entire livelihood. If we eat it, let's just make sure he doesn't do something crazy. Sun, who, the head of the county guards, was definitely older and much sharper. He'd experienced way more than his reckless sibling. Think of him like a police captain from my old world. Literally everyone in this entire county feared the guy. Sunhao laughed loudly. Brother, please, you give that pathetic trash too much credit. He's absolutely no brave hero from those old stories. With that fragile body, he should be kneeling and calling me grandfather. But secretly, he was still fuming about how I completely humiliated him last night. I felt totally different. Now, you're probably wondering, with his brother here, what could I do? That's exactly when I screamed out, Sunhao, pay for my ox right now. I charged straight ahead, swinging my heavy sickle. Sunhao spotted me, completely stunned for a second. Instantly, his face twisted into dark fury. He figured I had completely lost my mind. Beside him, Sun, who slowly set down his wine bowl. The unwritten rule was simple: ordinary folks never challenge officials, especially during wartime chaos. Even the toughest guards respectfully bowed to someone like Sun, who the old me would never have dared. He was absolutely floored I showed up over an ox. Brothers, just leave him with a little breath. Don't finish him. The guards quickly stood up, totally surrounding me. Sunhao snatched a wooden stool, flashing a truly cruel smile. He figured that once they beat me senseless, he'd casually stroll back to my house and mess with my beautiful wives. I just glanced around at every single one of them. These weren't guards. They were literally bandits in uniform, hidden far away. Jaeer watched closely, her heart incredibly tense. Honestly, my survival didn't mean much to her yet, but if I fell here, she'd face massive danger. Just a vulnerable, fallen princess trapped inside completely hostile enemy territory. If she dramatically stepped in to rescue me, her true identity might get exposed. The fallout could be worse than anything imaginable. She bit her red lip sharply. Damn it. She silently prayed for help, pinning her hopes on Gai Jin, who was also hiding nearby. Meanwhile, Gai Jin's brows were furrowed incredibly tight. She decided to save me if things got ugly. Sunhao just assumed I was frozen with fear. Trust me, you're going to want to see what happens next. Alright, let's jump into an epic showdown. He couldn't wait, swinging a massive wooden stool right at my head. That solid wood could easily crack stone, let alone a skull. You're done. Trash. Bang. A massive crash echoed. Everyone completely froze. Somehow, the stool missed. Instead, I delivered a brutal kick straight to his chest. He coughed violently, flying back for whole steps. Crashing down onto the dirt, he cried out in pure agony. The nearby guards stood absolutely frozen. They couldn't even track my movements. Sun Hu immediately jumped up from his chair, his eyes going wide with pure, absolute shock. He couldn't believe his own eyes. Overnight, I had transformed completely. I wasn't that weak, cowardly kid anymore. Even my thin frame somehow looked stronger. What changed? From the ground, his brother screamed out, "Take him down. Destroy him." His ribs were completely shattered. His voice cracked with intense pain. First, we had just argued. Then, I deeply humiliated him. Now, I wrecked him. He wanted me gone. Sun Hu's face hardened with rage. "Good job. You hurt my brother. I'll completely shatter both your legs today," Sun Hu roared out loud. His eyes burned with intense hatred. Whatever was weird about me, I still hurt his sibling. Right there. That was a massive slap to his pride. If I walked out today, how could he keep control? He stood up, grabbing a massive wooden club, and charged. I just scoffed coldly. His angry threats meant absolutely nothing to a guy like me. Now watch this. It gets wild. Threaten me? Let's see who falls. Your brother took down a farm ox, a major crime here in Dian. You're the actual guard captain here. Instead of stopping them, you let your guys cook that ox and feast. You knew the strict rules, yet you broke them anyway. That makes your crime way worse. Break my legs today, but tomorrow, you'll all be facing some serious, severe justice. All the other guards instantly turned pale. I wasn't just bluffing here. The strict law actually punished harming oxen permanently. We were living through tough war times. Famine everywhere. Grain was everything. Farm oxen were simply way too valuable to lose. But Sun Hu wasn't dumb. Brothers, do not panic. So he reads some books. So what? He's a broke nobody with nothing. He can't even afford paper to write a complaint. Silence him. As long as we don't finish him off, he can't snitch to anyone. He saw right through my strategy. I genuinely had zero money for courts, but I stayed perfectly calm. Sorry, but I already invited the whole village to watch this show. They should arrive any second now. They'll see you cooked the ox, ate it, and tried to ruin me completely. Everyone froze in their tracks again. Even Sun Hu completely stopped. His men panicked hard. Boss, what if they actually come? We have to run. If we're caught, even the county officer can't save us. Sun Hu glared right at me. He honestly had zero good options left. As the local guard captain, if angry villagers caught them, nobody was escaping this mess. So he decided to bolt. You men, carry my brother and move. Curse you, Su Nyan. Just wait. I watched them wildly run away. I shook my head, almost laughing. You and I both know they were completely terrified. Even if they stayed, I wouldn't care. Utter trash. They really wanted to fight me? I glanced at the bubbling pot of cooked ox. I felt slightly sad for the poor animal. But wow, the smell was absolutely amazing. I sat down and dug right in. The meat tasted incredible. While I feasted, Zhao and Gu Jian finally peeked out from their quiet hiding spot. They stared at me, looking totally confused. Wives, why are you out here? Looking up with my mouth stuffed, I saw two beautiful women gazing at me in total shock. My heart instantly felt warm. They actually came to protect me. My house had absolutely nothing. Cold wind blew through cracked walls. We barely had food, but I had three gorgeous wives who truly cared. Heaven was definitely kind to me. Zhao and Gu Jian shared a quick, nervous look. Stop sitting around. This isn't safe. Let's get out of here fast. You said those villagers were coming. If they see this feast, we'll look completely guilty. Husband, we need to leave now. I just laughed, wiping my greasy hands. Villagers? What villagers? Oh, right. I was just completely bluffing to scare Sun Hu. There are 0 villagers coming here. Think about it realistically. I didn't even know where those guards were, so how could I invite anyone? Plus, in a chaotic world full of bandits, who would actually wander out here at night? The two of them just blankly stared back at me. Their jaws practically hit the floor. Wives, don't just stand there frozen. Sit down and eat this delicious meal. I gestured. I told them to save some for Chu Kinking back home. In these hard times, just surviving was a massive gift. Eating meat was a luxury. I handed them massive portions. Eat up fast, before it gets cold. Smelling that rich aroma, they couldn't hold back anymore. They finally ate. In that exact moment, their stomachs felt pure, overwhelming joy. Zhao literally couldn't remember the last time she tasted anything so good. Ever since she became a captured war bride, life was brutal. This was the very first time she felt truly safe and satisfied. And it was all thanks to this mysterious husband she'd only known for days. Gu Jian was feeling the exact same way. She honestly thought being chosen meant endless shame and misery. She was fully ready to escape or end it all, but thankfully, none of that actually happened. Instead, she looked at me with much softer eyes. Now, there was definitely something unique and mysterious about this guy. Something that made her feel protected. The brain to strategize. The bold courage to stand tall. Was he really just a villager? We feasted happily. So what do you and I make of this guy? Walking home, Zhao finally snapped. Who are you really? Both women stared like I was some mythical creature. Stick with me, the system story gets wild. Whenever I looked, they glanced away. So incredibly weird. I am your husband, right? While wondering why they stared, the system went off in my head. Ding. Zhao's favor is over. 20. Now, 22. You get one normal and one rare lottery. Ding. Gai Jian's favor passed 20. Now 24. You earn another normal and rare lottery. I almost burst out laughing. When did their affection spike up so crazy fast? It was single digits just recently. Oh, well, 4 lottery spins all at once. That is pretty amazing. Just from scaring Sunhu and sharing some meat. I scored big. A few more times, and I would easily break 100. This world might be full of hunger and constant battles. But honestly, who cares? With my system, Sunhu's revenge did not scare me at all. I would totally crush him. What is so funny? Zhao stared at me, totally lost. We were almost home, and her husband was just chuckling to himself, sounding super greedy too. Oh, nothing. I just thought of an epic plan. Wait, you are not my husband. What plan? Just come inside. I will explain everything. Back home, Chu Qingqing ran over and hugged me tight. Tears filled her eyes. She asked if I was hurt, so I shared the whole story. She listened with her heart racing fast. She felt proud, but also really scared. Normal folks do not mess with city officials. That was an old rule. Officials had endless ways to ruin someone. Now, we had made enemies of Sunhu. There was absolutely no telling what sneaky trick would come next. Zhao and Gai Jian saw my real bravery today. They finally knew I was not weak at all. They felt less anxious now. Gai Jian held Chu Qingqing's hand gently. Do not worry. He has plenty of tricks. Zhao asked, so what happens now? If Sunhu actually returns, what is the plan? I smiled warmly. Relax, I got this. Watch closely. Here is the trick. I made them mad, but they cannot mention the axe or admit I won. That would basically be picking up a huge rock and smashing their own feet. Sunhu is not that dumb. They will stay far away for a few days. They are way more terrified than us. If they want trouble, they wait for grain collection day. Yes, grain day. Chu Qingqing paced around nervously. Husband, you have 3 wives. 150 pounds of grain every month. What should we do? Do not worry. 150 pounds is literally nothing. I will pay 6 months upfront. Plus, I promise our family eats meat every single meal now. Wait, what? 6 months at once? Meat for every meal? The 3 women just stared at me. They really thought I went completely crazy. Sure, I created those magic noodles earlier. Yes, we had some grain saved up, but over 20 days still remain. Even saving every single crumb, we lacked 50 pounds. We had 0 work and no land. Should we beg? During a famine year, beggars got absolutely nothing. 6 months at once meant 900. From where exactly? Zhao kept her proud tone, but sounded softer now. Stop hiding secrets. Just tell us what you are planning. I pressed a finger against my lips. Shh, the wise man has his clever methods. Do not ask. Time for bed. Same as always. I take the floor. You take the bed. Good night, my wives. I lay down on the floor. The 3 just stared at each other, totally confused. You know exactly what they were thinking, right? That night, the 3 women lay awake. Each had her own thoughts, but agreed on one thing. The guy snoring like a heavy rock on the floor was no average villager. He was something totally different, something deeply hidden. Late that evening, The system suddenly woke me up again. Ding. Chu Chingking's favor is over 30. It is now 31. You earn 1 epic lottery. Ding. Total favor past 70. Reward is 10 free attribute points and a middle-level gift box. I quickly opened my eyes. I almost scolded the system for waking me, but Chu Chingking was kneeling right beside me, gently pulling my warm blanket up. Her eyes looked so soft. My heart completely melted. I reached out and pulled her waist close. She made a tiny surprised sound. Her body tumbled forward. Her chest lightly brushed my face. A sweet scent, soft skin under my arm. My head felt wonderfully warm. I quietly told myself, the timing is wrong. So I held back. But honestly, my 3 wives were stunning. Slim, but the exact kind of women guys from my old world would call absolute goddesses. In the soft moonlight, I clearly saw her cheeks turning bright pink. Husband, you are awake. I nodded and kissed her cheek softly. Go to sleep. I want to think outside for a bit. It is quite windy at night. Take this blanket so you avoid catching a cold. Whenever we got this close, her heart raced, and she simply could not maintain eye contact. Yes, go sleep now. I wrapped the blanket around myself and stood quietly in the broken yard. I muttered at the sky, hey, System Lord, can you please turn off at night? I was having a great dream, and you totally ruined it. The system simply did not care. It just flashed the message at me again. 10 free attribute points. 1 middle-level gift box. I was not shocked that Chu Chingking's favor jumped up 10 points overnight. Out of all 3 wives, she was definitely the closest to me. Plus, my charm stat was pretty solid. Winning over a few girls should be super easy. But 10 free attribute points? Absolutely huge. The system spoke. Middle-level system unlocked. 10 free attribute points. Use them now. I used them immediately. Every point straight into strength. So what do you and I learn here? In a chaotic world, raw power protects you first. A soft glowing light suddenly flashed. My strength jumped from 58 to 68, nearing the absolute limit for normal humans. I checked my brand new status panel. Strength 68, speed 50. Alright, stick with me here. Stats hit 80, charm 60. I scored a middle-level gift box, plus 2 normal lotteries. 2 rare, 1 epic. Incredible power surged right through my veins. Opening that shiny golden gift box, a blinding light flashed right before me. 5 incredible items popped up, nearly blinding me with absolute joy. I got 20 strong antibiotics, 10 energy fishing rods, and 5 semi-automatic compound bows with 100 arrows. 10 strong adrenaline shots and 100 super potatoes. I nearly fainted. This middle gift box was totally insane. It fixed literally every single problem. That medicine saves lives. The new energy rod could shock fish totally unconscious underwater. Forget about messy nets or tiny hooks. Just step right in and stun an entire school. That compound bow had infrared aim. From 100 steps away, no beast could escape. But the absolute best prize was the super potato. The system promised it grew huge. It was packed with massive food value, surviving freezing cold or brutal dry weather. It needed no specific season, grew unbelievably fast, and finished in 30 days. I cheered wildly. This magical system was truly real. The system was incredibly generous. Such epic surprises in just one night. I smartly saved those lotteries for later. Watch closely here. Next morning, I woke up finding my 3 sweet wives arguing over noodle rations. Chu Ching Chong gripped that single pack tightly. No, if our husband cannot secure more grain, this is our only food. We must save it for taxes. Let us just eat a tiny bit to stop feeling hungry. Joanna waved her hand confidently. He will absolutely get the grain. Eat a bit more. I truly trust him. Yesterday, she would have hoarded every single grain, but after last night, 0 worries. Gai Jian stood right between them, completely torn on whose side to take. After starving for so incredibly long, everyone naturally wanted a full meal. Yet Chu Ching had a very solid point. If I failed to get grain, every saved bite mattered immensely. Why argue so early in the morning? I strolled over, flashing them a deeply exhausted look. Gently taking the pack from Chu Ching Chung, I handed it right to Gai Jian. Starting today, 3 daily meals, 2 full packs each. Go cook. Do not forget the seasoning. Chu Ching Chong looked incredibly sad. I gently patted her shoulder. Just trust me, our lives will only get better from here. Feeling slightly reassured, she simply nodded, keeping her nagging doubts totally unspoken. since all our food came entirely from me. The other two flashed soft eyes and incredibly warm smiles. Then, they happily scurried off to start cooking. After eating, I revealed my master plan: serious hunting and fishing. All three of them looked completely confused. During these harsh years, landless villagers survived this exact way. But everyone in Hong Kong County overhunted. Those empty hills had absolutely zero animals left. The local rivers were mostly barren. Desperate hunters left at dawn and always returned empty-handed. Plus, I was just a weak scholar, possessing no bow, no rod, and zero decent metal in our house. What was I supposed to hunt with? My grandmother's old shoe pad? I totally expected this exact reaction. In this outdated world, folks relied on basic longbows and super rough nets. Of course, they highly doubted my crazy claims. Just wait, I will show you something incredible. Stepping outside, I casually pretended to head down into our old cellar. I know what you are thinking. I opened my system inventory, pulling out that epic compound bow, energy rod, and rubber suits. All three girls were left completely speechless. Husband, what exactly are these? Is this a bow? Gai Jin was a famous general's daughter. She recognized it as a bow, yet she had never witnessed anything this advanced. The other two watched with huge, sparkling eyes. Gently, she picked up that flawless compound bow. What incredibly fine iron. How could metal this pure possibly exist here? Husband, how many exhausting hours would it take to forge something this utterly perfect? Wait, what did you just call me? I looked at her, smirking playfully. Suddenly, she realized her totally embarrassing slip-up. She dropped that heavy bow super fast. Her lovely face turned extremely red as she stared right at the wooden floor. Her small hands fidgeted awkwardly, and the room grew noticeably warmer. You could basically taste the romantic tension between us. The cozy room felt strangely warm and hilariously awkward. Zhao pouted and turned away completely. Chu Qingqing's cheeks glowed pink. Watching Gai Jin's incredibly cute face, I just could not stop myself from smiling. That was the very first time you ever called me husband. She started speaking but suddenly stopped. Her flustered face burned so deeply red she desperately wanted to dig a massive hole and hide forever. Completely speechless, feeling slightly guilty for teasing her, I quickly changed our subject. You guessed perfectly right. Forging this legendary metal would demand countless lifetimes. I guarantee you, this masterpiece is the only one in the entire world. Try it. Handing her the bow, I pointed at the big Wong tree outside. Me? Can I really? She finally accepted it, trembling with pure, shy excitement. Of course. Sight right here. Aim there. Line up all 3 points. While teaching her, I stood very close. I will not lie. She had a stunning figure, great curves everywhere. She blushed much harder. Her breath hitched fast, yet she stayed locked in. This advanced bow requires zero string pulling. Simply lock your arrow and firmly squeeze that trigger. Taking a deep breath, she aimed carefully and finally squeezed. Whoosh! The arrow ripped forward like pure lightning. It punched completely through the tough Wong tree, sinking deep into the solid dirt wall behind it. The sheer impact force was absolutely insane, leaving all three completely speechless. Expecting just a slightly improved hunting bow, they watched it effortlessly obliterate thick wood and solid stone. This was a literal legendary weapon. Did you honestly craft this yourself? W stared sharply, highly suspicious. Who else could? I smirked proudly. So what do you and I think? Her mysterious husband is officially overpowered. Stick with me here, between magic foods and epic weapons. She finally realized he was absolutely no simple villager. Perhaps he came from a hidden crafter family, or maybe a wealthy foreigner stranded just like her. I am your husband. That was my only answer today. Hunting was not the mission. The real plan? I pointed straight at my shiny new energy fishing rod. Chu Qingqing grabbed it. Husband, what does this metal stick even do? Then, she almost pushed the glowing power button. Panic. Both ends were aiming right at my private area. If she pushed that, my 3 wives would never get to have any kids. Stop right there. I snatched it back super fast and secured it. The girls blinked. I warned them this thing was far more dangerous than a bow. One wrong press could instantly finish someone off. Hearing it pack such insane power, they begged to see it in action. I finally agreed to show them. Normally around here, women were never supposed to leave their homes completely alone. But times were incredibly tough. People were starving. Old rules vanished entirely. The men usually worked fields or hunted. Women went out digging for wild plants. We left together, bumping into some village ladies heading for the hills. Well, look here, the little scholar from the east. Where are you going? The loudmouth was Majin Shur, wife of a guy named Maiden. She basically led the local village women. Her husband owned a couple small fields, so she looked down on everyone. She was widely known for her toxic mouth. Nobody ever dared challenge her. We are fishing. I tried walking past, but she blocked us. You, fishing? Hilarious. She slapped her thigh, laughing loudly, and the others joined in. You will drown before spotting a single fish. Look how pathetic he is. If he fails at fishing, will he just crawl home and eat literal dirt for his dinner? Dragging your 3 wives along too? Are they here to fish out your fallen body? Wait a second. This kid actually looks much bigger now. He used to be thin as a twig. I could sense Gi Jinu wanting to smack them. Even gentle Chu Ching King could barely handle the disrespect. Her words were brutally harsh, but Majin Shur was not done. 3 wives bought with trouble. He cannot pay the grain tax, so he is finished. Why is he outside instead of making babies? I snapped right back, none of your business. I had faced down much worse threats. Why back down from some noisy woman? She mocked. You pathetic scholar, with your 3 wives. We will watch you meet a terrible end in 20 days, when your grain is unpaid. She stomped furiously. I refused to waste any more time. I just walked faster with the girls. Someone asked, what is that weird thing he is holding? Who cares? He is just a beggar waiting to perish. Now watch closely. Chu Ching King was super confused. Husband, are we really catching fish with this? Zhao Weiner and Gi Jinu completely ignored those mocking village women, but they still did not understand my strategy. Yes, through this tiny forest, then 2 miles east, sits a massive river. It is not deep, amazing for fishing, and located super close to the village. If fish were there, others would have grabbed them. And using this weird stick, I said stop. You will see, it was autumn, so animals were still super active. Winter would be way harder. From my new memories, I knew local fishermen avoided this river. It was full of jagged rocks. The current rushed fast. Hooks always got stuck. Nets could never open fully, so nobody ever came here. Reaching the spot, I handed each wife a wooden stick. I instructed them to grab any fish that floated up near the narrow riverbank. They were still totally confused, but happily agreed to the plan. I slipped into my rubber suit and stepped right into the current. I gripped 2 energy fishing rods. The water reached my knees, but the suit kept the chill away. Tons of rocks, but my vision was clear. Did we trust him too easily? Can that stick really work? Zhao Weiner doubted me. You and I know what comes next, right? I dropped both energy rods straight into the water and gently shook them. Instantly, 2 giant fish floated up, belly first, drifting downstream. Stop staring, girls. Grab the fish. The 3 snapped back to reality, rushing over with their wooden forks. Then the system pinged. Zhao Weiner favor went up 3. Gi Jinu favor increased by 3. Chu Qingking favor plus 3. Teaming up, we caught fish insanely fast. Soon, they could barely even carry the massive pile. I stepped ashore shortly after. We released the tiny ones, keeping over 50 incredibly fat fish. The 3 were so thrilled, they basically looked at me like a god. Husband, is this magic? No hook, fork, or net. The fish just sleep and float right to us. Zhao Weiner had sparkling eyes. Hey, I want to try. I packed the rod away. Too dangerous. One tiny mistake, and you will zap yourself instead. I will teach you another day. So stingy. Fine. She made the cutest pouting face. All 3 of them looked at me with totally new eyes. Incredibly soft, but full of awe and pure curiosity. Let us head home. We marched back to the village around midday. Our massive strings of fat fish instantly caught everyone's attention. Water dripped from our strings as we walked. People quickly crowded around. Kid, where did you catch all these? Look how amazingly fat. I wanted to eat one so badly. Who knew our little scholar had this epic skill? Maybe the river is packed. Let us go check. 51 huge fish. That is where we leave it, trust me. You and I know this epic harvest buys 60 pounds of grain. No more starving. Bring on the meat feast. Those guys were literally drooling over the fresh catch. And those village ladies who mocked me, absolutely boiling with anger. Stick with me here. Nobody expected a haul like this. My reputation skyrocketed. Sure, the river has fish, but this amount? Insane. Pulling this off just twice a month meant 0 grain tax worries, plus massive feasts every single day. No wonder I have 3 wives. They totally thought I possessed secret skills. Back home, they immediately wanted steamed fish. I stopped them. Why, husband? We cannot eat fish today. Chu Ching Chung stared at me with wide eyes. The other two were absolutely starving, fasting since yesterday. But with our big group now, they felt super shy about overeating. No, today's catch goes to town. We will trade it all for basic grain. Zhao raised her eyebrow. She felt completely conflicted. Happy because I was actually planning ahead to pay our grain tax. Conflicted because survival would still be super tough. Winter was approaching fast. The river would freeze. We could not repeat this daily. But as a fallen princess stuck in enemy territory, she knew running into me was unbelievably lucky. Better than being sold or treated like garbage. This life was pure paradise. Guyan smiled softly. Do not worry. Our husband has a plan. I gently tapped her nose. You are the smartest. Traditional girls were simply not used to flirting. Her heart raced, cheeks glowing bright red. Pure butterflies fluttering wildly inside. She spun away quickly, completely avoiding my gaze. I figured I should stop teasing the poor girl. Now, I explained my whole strategy. The scary part is not the actual robbery. It is the thieves constantly watching. This world is totally unsafe right now. Now, pay close attention here. Hoarding this much fish basically screams that we have food. Desperate people will try something crazy, so we must move everything immediately. But trading for grain still proves we have food. Chu Ching nervously pointed out. I just smirked. Today, I'm giving all this grain to landless villagers. Every single bit. Until it is entirely gone. Zhao Wer's eyes instantly lit up. Oh, I totally get it now. You want to recruit loyal followers and build an army. So when Sun, who attacks, we have warriors ready, right? Absolutely wrong. I shot her a flat look. Classic princess mentality right there. Her very first idea was literally buying loyalty with free meals. Starving people are completely different. Even after a meal, when real danger arrives, they simply will not fight guards for you. Humans are always selfish, no matter the era. Besides, even if you wanted an army, this is the wrong method. My actual master plan? Having them cultivate our fields. They clear the wild land. Then we plant crops. We feed them. They work hard. Plus, I already secured the necessary seeds. I just need raw territory. In brutal times like these, offer a single meal, and guys work endlessly. Promise 3 daily meals with basic grain and meat. Endless crowds will flock to us. Clear wild land. Eat wild meat. The 3 were totally lost. But it honestly sounded exactly like a classic deal between landlords and peasants. But all good land nearby is already owned. Only steep hills and super dry dirt are left. Far from water, even weeds barely survive. Seeds will absolutely never grow into crops. I just flashed another mysterious smile. You and I both know the smart guy always has a trick. Just follow my lead. I possessed mutated super potatoes that flourish anywhere. I was 0% stressed about that. My sole issue was manpower, but starving laborers were super easy to find. Provide decent meals, and they would literally work until their absolute limits. Xian, your archery skills are amazing. Take the bow and head out to hunt in the nearby hills. When you return, confidently stroll through the entire village. Announce that any landless peasant can visit our house for absolutely free meals. Yes, my wonderful husband. She nodded, her eyes glowing with pride. Singing Chong, locate Lao Jiang. Tell him to bring 2 trusted friends and haul our fish into town. Trade them for rough grain. Promise 10 pounds for helping. Use the main road. Let absolutely everyone see us proudly hauling our fish into town. Why Jiang? Why not us instead? Za asked. Lao Jiang is broke, but his uncle literally works right at the local office. Even if hungry people see them, nobody will rob them. The main road is safer. Plus, we want everyone to know we are trading all our fish for simple grain. Then nobody thinks we have hidden food at home. Oh, she made a cute little sound. Her eyes completely lit up again. Then me. What do? I playfully patted her head. She gently pulled away. I honestly did not mind. She was a princess. It would simply take time before she lets me close. In my mind, I secretly thought, you simply avoiding trouble is enough. Who actually dares give a princess work? You stay home with me. We will easily grow plant seeds. Okay, dear husband. After everyone grabbed their jobs, Gai Jin and Chu Chin Chong went to work. I quickly led Zhao Wer into the cellar. I completely hid my super potatoes there. When she spotted the rows of dirt-covered lumps, she made a highly confused face. What are these dirt balls? Potatoes? You seriously do not know them? I was shocked. The super potatoes were massively bigger and a totally weird color than normal, but still, clearly potatoes. How did a princess of Daejeon truly not know what a potato was? Did royal people honestly never look at farms? What is a poo potato? She really did not know. I explained slowly. Potatoes are basically earth eggs, like wheat or rice. They are food completely full of nutrition. You will not understand that word. But honestly guys, you and I know these guarantee endless meals. Plus, they definitely grow super fast too. Stick with me, we are diving into pure magic today. She was totally shocked, holding a big, dirty potato in her little hand. How do you even eat this? So many ways. Steam it, roast it, fry it, even cold with sauce. It tastes absolutely amazing. After just a few days, her doubts vanished. I was basically a walking miracle to her. But here is the thing. It was not because Zhao Weiner was just some stuck-up princess. In this era, potatoes did not even exist in this part of the world. Even the oldest farmers were clueless. In my original world, potatoes only reached ancient China during the 16th century. First, we wrap them in wet mud and wait for sprouts. Once they sprout, we slice each one into 4 or 5 chunks. Then, we plant them. Following my lead, we wrapped 91 potatoes in mud, setting 9 perfectly aside. Weiner steamed those so the rest could taste them later. As the sky finally turned dark, Gi Jian returned carrying a massive haul of wild game. 3 rabbits, 2 mountain chickens, and 1 gray lynx. Most veteran hunters could not catch this much in a week. Just like before, a massive crowd followed her home. Mostly homeless folks and beggars, wearing nothing but dirty, patched-up rags. They watched with starving eyes, desperate for food. Gi Jian caught the scent of steamed potatoes and rushed straight to the kitchen. Jian, try one. They are hot, so be careful. I really wanted to hug her, but she still seemed way too shy. Instead, I just handed her a steamed piece. This food is called a potato. It is incredibly tasty. Weiner was already eating, happily sharing everything she learned. Gi Jian took a small bite, and that rich, starchy flavor hit her. She almost cried from pure joy. Eat slowly. 3 for each of you. We have plenty. I watched fondly, pouring them some water. Outside, the landless villagers kept gathering around our wall. Gi Jian had finished her part. Now, I just needed Chu Qingqing to return. Pay attention now, everything changes. Big trouble. A loud shout broke the peace. Lao Zhang pushed through the crowd, limping, completely covered in dust and sheer panic. Where is she? What happened? A cold shock ran straight through my body. I rushed outside to find Lao Zhang covered in brutal bruises. A terrible feeling sank in. Huge trouble. He clearly fell multiple times rushing over. His face was totally scratched up. What happened? Where is Sister Chu? Zhao Weiner and Gi Jian ran out too, frantically looking around. Chu Qingqing was nowhere to be seen. We bought grain in town. We were just borrowing donkey carts to ride back. On the road, we bumped into Sun Hu and his patrol guards. They claimed our fish were stolen. I furiously grabbed his collar. They said what? They claimed they saw you stealing fish. So they dragged her to the local office for questioning. I tried to fight them off, but I failed. He stomped his feet in total helplessness. Honestly, I almost slapped him out of pure rage. I had not been here long, but Chu Qingqing meant everything to me. So gentle and kind. Now, my wife was locked up. Stolen fish. We caught those ourselves. Is your uncle not working at the office? Why did he let Sun Hu take her? My uncle works there, but he holds 0 actual power. At least Sun Hu respected him enough to let me run back and warn you. Lao Zhang was basically on the verge of tears. He took my job and totally failed. I get it. This is Sun Hu getting his revenge. I clenched my fists tight. I thought Sun Hu would wait until grain day, but he attacked fast, in just days. Family was always my biggest weakness, in this life, and the last. Sun Hu just crossed a serious line. I will make him pay 100 times over. I am heading to the office. Guard the house. I turned to leave, but Zhao Weiner blocked my path. You cannot go. Why not? You are scared for our husband? Fine, I will go with him. I will protect him. Gi Jian stepped right up. Husband, this whole fake crime is an obvious trap. That corrupt official took our wife in broad daylight. He declared all-out war. We must march to the office and demand her back. Surely the county lord will give us actual justice. Gi Jian had the brave heart of a hero, and Chu Qingqing was her sister. Now, calm down first. Blind anger only makes this worse. You and I both know it is a setup, right? Weiner said, if Sun Hu took her openly, he is just waiting for husband to walk right in. If we charge in blindly, we are finished. I slowly calmed myself down. I looked at Zhao Weiner plain clothes, but absolutely nothing could hide her stunning beauty. Sure, she was lazy and loved eating, but during massive crises, she stayed perfectly calm. Without her warning, I would have walked straight into Sun Hu's deadly trap. Wait a second, did she just call me husband? Did I hear that right? It took forever to get them to call me husband. Now, all three finally said it. They genuinely accepted me into their hearts. But Chu Qingqing was locked in a cell. This was definitely no time for romance. I started plotting. Gi Jian paced the room, incredibly anxious. Zhao Weiner gently patted her shoulder. Do not panic. Our husband is no ordinary man. We know he will find a way to bring Sister Chu home safely. Gi Jian sighed heavily and nodded. I thought furiously. From both of my lives, I knew one truth. In this era, regular folks could never fight officials openly. Even during wartime, class divides were absolute. Lower-class citizens had literally zero rights. Breaking someone out of prison was basically impossible. If Sun Hu dared to grab Chu Qingqing in public, he definitely had fake evidence prepared. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this. No money, no friends. But wait, I have the system. Stick with me, guys. I told Gi Jian to send the villagers back. Give our hunt to the leader to cook and share with everyone. The wildland potato farming plan was still a go. Yes, husband, she said, heading out to finish it up. Wunner, take Lao Jiang into the front room. I needed to think alone. I called the system. System? My poor wife is locked up. Does your lottery have anything to save her? A trick to fool officials? I had two choices. Bribe a higher boss, or dump all my lottery points into raw strength and bust her out tonight. Option 2 was absolute madness. Even with 90 strength, matching top fighters meant nothing alone. The county packed hundreds of guards. Once cornered, the city had thousands of armed soldiers. 90 strength meant I could beat 100 men, but definitely not 10,000. Plus, 4 rolls might fail. That plan was ruined. Ding. The system lacks that tool. The shop limits tech items, and mind control spells simply do not exist here at all. Magic like that is totally fake. Even back in my old world, my heart completely sank. Then I heard Wunner and Lao Jiang talking outside. Lady Zhao, listen, do not approach the office. That guy is bold because he holds fake proof, and a seriously powerful backer. What backer? 2 weeks ago, the Lord's wife fell incredibly ill. He handed all office duties to the deputy and one head clerk. That head clerk is his adopted father. They completely cover for each other. Going there means an absolutely fatal end for you. What exactly is wrong with the Lord's wife? Even sick, can nobody visit her at all? Lao Jiang scratched his head. I only heard something bit her. The wound is red, swollen, and badly infected. Now pay attention. This part is wild. Doctor said she is completely doomed. I jumped up, ran out, and grabbed Lao Jiang. Say that again. He looked absolutely terrified. Not that. The next part. You said they cover for each other, and going means total doom. Wait. The Lord's wife. What is wrong with her? A bite? She is fading fast. Doctors gave up, just waiting for the end. I really should not know this. My uncle told me. High fever? Is she unconscious? Weak pulse? Yes, exactly. Wait, how did you know? Only Zhao Wer understood. Her husband clearly had a genius plan. She stayed quiet. It is a bacterial wound infection. That causes the fever. Yes, perfect. Chu Qingqing can be completely saved. I almost shouted out loud. What bacteria? What fire? Lao Jiang was completely lost. Lao Jiang, do me one more huge favor. The 10 pounds of grain stay yours. This is my fault. I failed Lady Chu. I am poor, but I definitely have my pride. Not one favor, 10 favors. But I refuse the grain. Fine, then follow me to the city right now. Take me to your uncle. Tell him to bring us straight to the county lord. I can save his wife. If I fail, my life is yours. What? He was absolutely stunned. Joanna was too. Her husband knows real medicine? Hey, stop staring. I would not bluff about this if I was unsure. Hurry up. I am going too. Joanna insisted. Husband, take me too. It is dark. Night roads are totally packed with ruthless bandits. We protect each other. Gi Jian shook her sword. Danger worried me, but leaving them alone felt far too risky. I finally agreed. Fine, everybody comes. Lao Jiang did not argue, quietly borrowing a donkey cart from the village leader. We rode quickly toward the city. The night was pitch black, but we arrived completely safely. Lao Jiang's uncle was Wang Yu-ren. He worked the post office, not exactly a boss-tier job, mostly carrying mail and greeting visiting officials. But he could directly introduce us to the Lord. Without him, guards would thrash us at the gates. Yet hearing our crazy plan, Wang's face turned bright red with pure anger. Total madness. I had strong system antibiotics, and the Lord's wife had an infection. You see the setup, right? Save her, and the Lord owes me. Then I demand Chu Ching Ching's total freedom. First hurdle, getting past this stubborn man and straight into the Lord's house. Easier said than done. Heal? Do not think this old man is easily fooled by some random kid. Wang snorted. This boy is San Jin. He passed the scholar exam 7 years ago, but is simply lazy and useless. If he knows medicine, pigs can literally climb trees. He wants to see the Lord? Get out of my post house. Uncle Lao Jiang tried to defend me, but I quickly stepped up. Mr. Wang, pure nonsense. Flying pigs aside, you are most definitely not me. How can you possibly know my true limits? You are a highly educated man. You should know the old phrase, the wise stay quiet while fools yell loudly. You have never even seen my medical skills. How can you confidently judge what I can achieve? He froze up. I pushed harder. Let me ask, the Lord's wife is fading, right? Every single doctor has given up. Yes, real doctors ignore old rules and focus on what works. Listen, swear on my own life today. And absolutely save her. Yet you keep blocking me. We can leave now, but if I possess the cure, whose fault is her tragic end? You, or the sickness? He was completely speechless. I hear many doctors show up, fail entirely, and still demand to get paid. I am fully sure I can succeed. Why turn me away when my own life is on the line? Mine too. Gi Jian stepped forward bravely. And mine, Zana boldly added. These two had only known me briefly, but they had already witnessed some seriously crazy miracles from me. Magic bows, magic potatoes, totally wild stuff. What do you and I make of this loyalty? Even crashing, we all go down together. All right, you and I are diving right in. They might as well bet on me, since miracles always follow me. Lao Jiang stood up. Count him in too. That put 5 lives on the line. Now, fine, I will take you all along. But if things go south, even he takes the fall. Do not worry, Mr. Wang. Everything is fine. I just smiled with pure confidence. It was just a nasty infection with a massive fever. I highly doubt one heavy dose of modern antibiotics could not cure this. Or even a strong adrenaline shot. After my treatment, that old lady would jump right out of bed and sprint. She might even start lifting weights. Wait, weights do not exist here yet. Anyway, Juan brought me in as a family doctor, meeting the Lord easily. Zhao W'er and the crew waited in a different room while we crossed massive halls. The Lord waited inside his study. His name was Wang Muji, over 50, square jaw, a short beard, and intensely big eyes. Folks called him a great lord, smart with his brush, and skilled on horseback. But his wife's sickness made him look incredibly old and exhausted. Heavy gray streaks filled his hair. Zero energy left. After a quick greeting, he asked about my home and our family medicine. What were my parents named? I completely made up a story on the spot about refugee parents who faded away years ago. No famous titles, but my family cured this exact sickness. Wang almost fainted from pure panic listening to this. If the Lord caught this lie, our heads would literally roll. How is the lady doing? The longer this lasts, the harder the cure. Just take me to her now. I refused to talk anymore since Chu Ching Ching was still locked up. His wife was sleeping deeply. Pulse and breathing were dangerously weak. Yesterday, she could not even swallow medicine. The Lord looked totally hollow. Sir, are you absolutely sure? If not, please just stop. Doctors claimed today was her absolute final day. Wang broke into a cold sweat. Weak pulse, shallow breath, totally unresponsive. Now, pay close attention here. How could I save her? This was not healing. This was snatching a soul back from the underworld. He shook his head in defeat. We could still run away, but I just smiled. If you trust me, sir, I will try my best. But she will absolutely not perish today. You really mean it? Yes. He started to doubt, but I cut him off completely as he stared. Fine, follow me. He guided us into the inner house. I thought I was ready, but seeing the old lady gave me absolute chills. Exhausted did not cover it. Fading away did not cover it. She only had faint breaths entering, and basically nothing coming out. Her body was turning cold. Her pulse and breathing were practically gone. I checked her wrist and stood back up, my face completely serious. This was no simple treatment. This was an all-out war against the Reaper. Looking at this lady, I knew the harsh reality. If I arrived 1 hour later, no modern machine from my era could help her. I originally thought one massive antibiotic shot would be enough. Now, definitely needed a heavy adrenaline shot too. How is she doing? The Lord saw my grim expression, and his voice shook. He knew her awful condition. 2 different doctors claimed she would not make it past noon today. Even a literal goddess could not fix this. He should prepare for the absolute worst, but he still craved a miracle, even with zero hope. I sighed heavily, putting on a wise, mysterious act. Not just for show though. I needed to inject her. I obviously could not just ask the Lord to remove his wife's clothes for modern medicine. In this era, men and women could not even touch through fabric. Saving a life required a silk veil between us. I know what you're thinking. I made weird finger signs and mumbled nonsense, leaving both men totally confused. I looked nothing like a doctor. I seemed more like a sketchy fortune teller. Were they watching some intense magic ritual? They held their breath, terrified to interrupt my process. Finally, I sighed deeply. There's one single chance left to try. His eyes instantly sparked. His entire body trembled. If this young guy could actually save his fading wife, he would happily surrender anything, even his very own life. I held back to set my hook deeper. But what? Anything? Any cost? I sighed dramatically again. It is highly complicated. To cure your lady, I must literally sacrifice 10 full years of my own lifespan. I almost claimed her soul was snatched, and I had to walk into the underworld. But that was way too extreme, even for this historical fantasy world. So I chose this dramatic lie instead, purely to make the Lord feel indebted. It totally worked. He cupped his hands and bowed deeply. Great healer, please save my beloved wife. I will give anything. I will do it if I can, even risking myself. I helped the crying man stand up. Sir, no need for bowing. Saving a life is the ultimate good deed. You are an honest official. 10 or 20 years lost, I would still do it. I almost started believing my own ridiculous lies. This strange sickness requires special needles. If anything looks weird, please stay completely patient. Whatever it takes to win. I stepped up to the bed. From my deep robes, I pulled out several plastic syringes. I had used a system lottery earlier for modern medical supplies. The magical system rewarded me with these. The Lord and Wong just stared. They had never seen clear tubes with strange marks and weird liquids inside. Both men were stunned. I called them soul return needles. Do not disturb me. I need pure quiet. I had the Lord lift her clothes to avoid skin contact. He carefully placed thin silk over the exact spots I needed to inject. So what do you and I take from this? I plunged those safe, system-approved nutrient needles straight into her arms and legs. Stick with me, you're about to see our guy completely fake it. He didn't know real pressure points. He just hoped he wouldn't make things worse. They were just distractions. Then, moving super quietly, he pulled strong adrenaline and heavy antibiotics right out of his bag. A quick, sneaky injection into her thigh, and boom. Completely done. He pulled out every single needle, packed them away, and calmly sat down. Yep. The Lord was absolutely stunned. He had never witnessed a cure like this. His wife was almost gone forever. A few needles, and she was fine? Wong was sweating buckets. Bringing our guy here terrified him. But our hero completely trusted modern medicine. He just sipped his tea calmly. In less time than burning one incense stick, she will wake up. Wait, what? The Lord was totally shocked. Was this kid playing him? He just shrugged. You don't believe me? Are there other doctors around here? Yes. 3 are waiting in back. Then bring them in after one incense stick burns down. Let them check her pulse. The Lord went totally quiet for a second. Then he called the 3 doctors. Time ticked away. The 3 came one by one, checking her pulse. After they checked her, their faces all completely flipped. Going from mocking him as a young fool, went to wide eyes and freezing cold sweat. Now watch this closely. They knew her illness. They knew her time was ending. That morning, she had shown her very last flicker before fading. But now, Tonight, her pulse was beating incredibly strong, her breathing totally even. That final flicker never happens twice. Who exactly was this kid? How did he know how to bring people back from the edge? The Lord was certainly no fool. He saw their shocked faces. He ran to feel his wife's pulse himself. It actually worked perfectly. Wong finally understood everything. Our hero wasn't just bragging. Wong had judged him way too quickly. The Lord checked with the doctors again. His precious wife was recovering. She would wake up soon. He spoke calmly. I told you, no problem. Do you finally believe me? Then the Lord fixed his robes and dropped straight to one knee, cupping his hands respectfully. Please, Savior, accept my deepest bow. That startled him. He rushed to lift the man up. Sir, what are you doing? You are a big county lord. I'm just a poor guy. This feels wrong. No, now, there is zero class difference between us. Only my Savior and me. Without you, my wife would have passed away. She is my everything. Saving her means saving me. Please just accept my bow. He bowed again. So much traditional ceremony. Our guy had absolutely no idea how to react. He lifted him up again. Wong shook off his shock and added praise. Who knew my nephew's village had such an amazing healer? May I ask who your master was? He shot Wong a flat look. The old guy was totally rubbing his own name in. He wanted the Lord to remember. He brought him here. My master wanders the mountains. He keeps his name completely hidden. He told me never to share it. A wonder, a true wonder. Please, sir, wait right here. I will have dinner prepared. The Lord and Wong flattered him straight to the sky. If he wasn't so worried about his wife, Chu Ching Chan, they'd have praised him until midnight. You know what's next. When the time was right, he asked his favor. Sir, I have a request. What is it? He explained everything. Chu Ching Chan traveling to town to trade fish for grain. Sun Hu and those corrupt guards destroying his precious ox and eating it up. Now, the Lord was actually a good official. He'd only been in Honggong County a few years. He'd heard bad rumors about Sun Hu, but lacked proof. After hearing this, his beard literally shook with anger. He didn't even call Lao Jiang to confirm it. He would get justice for our hero right now. So, the three went together. The Lord called his best guards, and they marched straight toward the jail. Inside the jail, Chu Ching Chan curled up tightly against the wall, her face full of fear, her body shaking. She watched a disgusting man step closer. Stop. Do not come near me. What do you want? What do you think I want? Sun Hu smiled a filthy smile, his eyes full of terrible desire. Such soft skin. I don't know how that completely useless man got lucky enough to marry you. Maybe a starving guy just wants some fun with a beauty before he fades away. With a stunning body and face like yours, who wouldn't want this? He crouched down to grab her. She kicked him hard and ran to the bars. Help! Someone help! So spirited. I really like that. It's more fun this way. He stood up and brushed off his clothes. All the guards are out drinking with my brother. This is the dungeon. Scream all you want, but nobody is coming. Perfect figure. Gorgeous skin. You are truly the best of the best. Chu Ching Chan kept moving back, but the room was tiny. There was nowhere to run. Husband. Husband. Stop calling out for that useless man. What can he even do? Come save you here? With his starving body? He could barely walk this far. Wait. Grain day comes soon? After he is completely finished, I'll take your two sister wives as well. He got incredibly excited and lunged right at her. He pinned her down and started pulling roughly at her clothes. Just give in to me. I'll treat you well. Good food and wine. She fought hard, but was so weak. She couldn't push him off. To protect her honor and her husband's pride, she got ready to just end it all right there. My husband will never let you get away with this. Him? Even with 10 times more courage, he wouldn't dare come here. Look at him. I'm doing him a huge favor by taking his woman. I'll finish him sooner or later anyway. Then, he heard heavy footsteps and a voice. Is that so? Trust me, you're gonna love this ending. I don't need guts. I'm here. Let's see you try. Sun Hu looked up, freezing as he saw our guy Wong and the Lord waiting. Stick with me here. Guards unlocked the door, and Chu Ching cried pure joy. With Sun Hu distracted, she kicked him right between the legs. He screamed as she bolted to me. I caught her, Cold Fury locked and ready. Sun Hu was totally finished. She collapsed into my embrace, holding on for dear life. Every ounce of her fear and pain just poured out instantly. Shaking uncontrollably, she cried like a wounded kitten against my chest. My embrace became her ultimate safe zone, and she refused to let go. It is okay now. You are totally safe. Do not panic. I held her close and gently rubbed her back. Sun Hu fought the intense pain and forced himself up. Lord Wang, why are you here? Cold sweat completely drenched his panicked face. He was completely clueless about how I arrived here with the county lord. Captain Sun Hu, if I had not witnessed this mess myself, I would never believe such absolute trash worked under me. The lord's face flushed with pure fury. Sun Hu instantly dropped to his knees. Sir, this is a massive misunderstanding. Just a misunderstanding. I work for years, and this is what happens. You want to be finished, sir? He stammered, then furiously pointed straight at me. It is you. You set this whole thing up. You framed me. Do not trust his lies. Silence. I witnessed everything myself, and Mr. Wang saw it too. You are really still trying to lie right now? The Lord ordered his guards in. They pinned Sun Hu down hard. He struggled, but the Lord absolutely shut it down. Resist us now, and you are finished. Sun Hu deflated like a popped balloon. He understood the hierarchy. He was merely a low-level captain. The Lord outranked him completely. Class 9 versus Class 7. Power, rank, the entire system crushed him. Fighting or running meant the law would hunt him down. In that split second, he was totally ruined. Decades of hard work to become captain, utterly wasted. Erased in a single night, facing years behind bars. Curse that Sun Jian. Just how deeply was his true power hidden? Watch closely. This is where it gets wild. His eyes burned with pure hate, confused about my connections. I released Chu Qing and slowly stepped right up. Sun Hu screamed. Sun Jian, who let you speak? Even if I am framed, the Lord decides my ultimate punishment today. Not a lowly peasant like you. I actually enjoyed his stubbornness. I faced the Lord. Before you punish him, give me 10 minutes. Sun Hu just laughed. What? A peasant ordering a county lord around? The Lord instantly cut him off. Sir, please go right ahead. The Lord actually bowed slightly toward me. Sun Hu completely lost his mind. A noble bowing to a commoner? Who on earth was Sun Jian? What was going on? He briefly thought he was dreaming, until I crouched down and smacked him brutally across the face. Whack! A bright red handprint scorched his cheek. Agony blasted through his skull as he trembled, a red mess forming near his mouth. Without his combat training, that single hit would have knocked him unconscious. He was not looking so proud anymore. I grabbed his swollen face and twisted ruthlessly. He shrieked. My physical strength was absolutely off the charts. I could have destroyed him 10 times. The guts to fight me? Smack. Telling me to check my status? Smack. Planning to finish me off? Wham. Every time I repeated his own threats, I struck him again. Wang and the Lord stood frozen like statues, completely silent. 4, 5 heavy strikes. His teeth shattered. A red mess dripped down his chin. I held back just enough power to keep him fully conscious. Absolute trash like him earned this. Eat your own words. Cross the wrong guy, and your final day arrives fast. You and I love sweet payback, right? I faced Chu Qing and smiled. Watch me get your revenge. Then I booted Sun Hu right in the gut. He flew from the guards, smashed into the wall, and passed out entirely cold. Chu Qing covered her mouth, but her eyes glowed with pure love for me. So sorry, my lord. I lost my temper. I turned back to apologize. I just beat a guy down in front of a VIP. The Lord totally played blind. He faced Wang. Did you see anything happen here? Not a thing. Prisoner Sun, who injured himself resisting arrest. I felt so grateful. 2 veteran officials expertly covering my tracks. I pulled Chu Qing in tight. Absolutely stunning. She rested in my embrace like a fragile bird, her gentle body pressing warmly against mine. My core warmed up. The feeling was honestly incredible. If that monster tried this, who knows how many other awful crimes he committed. Investigate everything. The county lord was boiling mad. He turned to Wang. Mr. Wang, throw this garbage in a cell. Deputy Gao will handle this exact case. Uproot every rotten weed. Yes, sir. Wang felt absolutely thrilled, shooting me a deeply thankful glance. Without this, he would never land such an elite assignment. I practically handed him a massive career boost. With everything wrapped up, I asked the Lord if we could head out. He insisted a grand feast was waiting, desperate to thank me properly for saving his wife earlier. I politely turned him down, having my own agenda. Then I will not hold you back, sir. I will never forget your massive favor. Once my duties are clear, I will visit to thank you personally. He ordered Wang to prep elite horses and guards to escort us back safely. He shot Wang a knowing look. Wang instantly understood the veteran official code. Yes, sir. Leaving the jail, Chu Qing followed us straight to Wang's estate. I genuinely wondered why we skipped the standard post house entirely. Inside, my crew was pacing around in total panic. Wang had secretly called them during the jailbreak. That is where we leave it, trust me. You're gonna want to see what happens next. Let's dive in. He wanted to surprise me, keeping us away from the crowded post house to make my wives absolutely comfortable. Seeing me return safe and sound with Chu Qing Chong completely unharmed, my two wives were absolutely overjoyed. Gai Jin's eyes turned red with tears. She rushed in, hugging me tightly and checking for hidden wounds. Weiner was secretly excited too, but hid it, gently, holding Chu Qing's hand with soft questions. Meanwhile, Czar still had not called me husband a single time since we married. She kept her distance, but I did not mind. Since coming home, she had always held herself exactly like that, perfectly calm. Most assumed she was just hiding her past. But thanks to my system, I knew she was actually a proud, hidden royal princess. The Y see through things silently. Mr. Son, it is getting late, and these dark roads are extremely dangerous. Please rest at my humble home tonight. Tomorrow my men will properly escort you. Wang bowed low, cupping his hands in an incredibly polite, respectful gesture. The entire room completely froze. Lao Jian, Zhaoer, and Gi Jin stared in pure shock. Wait. Earlier at his house, this exact same man was acting so incredibly proud and brutally rude. He had completely looked down on me. Now, everything suddenly changed. Lao Jiang's jaw totally dropped. Knowing his uncle's proud nature, he had never seen him treat a poor man with such immense respect. I agreed to stay. Wang moved blazing fast, prepping a warm room and hot water for us to soak our tired feet before bed. Now watch this closely. Back inside the room, everyone was finally relieved. I sat on the soft bed, scanning the small but quiet space. A post officer holds an official rank. Why is his house so incredibly old, Zaid? Brutal war is literally everywhere. Kingdoms clash endlessly, and bandits roam freely. Fields are completely empty. This is honestly not bad compared to starving, desperate officers. Even the wealthy county lord might live just like this post officer. We should be glad. Oh, you actually seem to know a lot. I caught her slip up, teasing her on purpose. The other two stared curiously, which completely startled her into total panic mode. Blushing heavily like a scared little rabbit, she stammered, I am only a woman. What do I know? I just heard rumors. Oh, I see. I smiled back at her with deep meaning. Since coming home with me, she kept her distance. She had never even called me husband a single time. She definitely had feelings for me, but clearly acted strange. Without my hidden system, I would never have guessed she was a real princess of the Du Kingdom, raised totally soft and spoiled. My old world would absolutely call this literal classic princess sickness. She was hard to win over, but already my wife in name. If she wanted to play it totally cool and hide, fine. The Y see the absolute truth, but stay quiet. Husband, did you really save the county lord's wife? Gai Jian wondered how I miraculously rescued Chiqing King completely unharmed. Yeah. Why else would Wang treat you so nicely? Weiner chimed in with a massive smile. You and I definitely saw this coming. Chu Qing was sharp and figured it out. Not just Wang. Even the county lord called him Mr. respectfully. He was treated like an absolute royal guest. Wow. Gai Jian's eyes sparkled with awe. For this epic treatment, the lord's wife was surely dying. All doctors failed. Husband saved her, then simply asked for me as his ultimate reward. Chu Chong figured it out incredibly fast. Husband, you are amazing. You know so many epic things. Even medicine. Husband, are you really just a normal, simple villager? She grabbed my hand, looking up with bright shining stars in her eyes. Her sudden, adorable warmth made me slightly shy. Cough. As long as you stay safe, I am just a normal villager, born and raised here. As if anyone believes that nonsense, Zhao muttered quietly. Enough talk, wives. Time for bed. I took off my shoes, getting onto the bed. I started taking off my clothes, going totally bare on top. Chu Qing and Gi Jin turned bright red, looking away quickly while Weiner covered her eyes. What? What are you doing? Why are you fully naked? Why not? I literally did not care, dropping my underwear. This huge bed is definitely big enough for four. We are legally husband and wives. The official office has it on paper. I pay 150 pounds of grain monthly. So why can I not take off my clothes? Is it actually against the law? I am exhausted. I'm not sleeping on the floor, and none of you are either. All of you, on the bed. No, we will sleep on the floor. Zhao Wen'er grabbed Gai Jin's arm with a totally proud face. Gai Jin was actually incredibly shy too. She was not against sleeping with me, but as a proper woman, she could not just openly say it. That was way too embarrassing. If I had boldly pulled her up myself, she definitely might have agreed. I sighed. 3 wives in one single night was intense. Maybe one at a time is much better. I asked, then how exactly do you sleep? Gu's sister and I sleep here. I will get warm bedding for the floor. You take Chu's sister. She stuck out her tongue playfully at me, getting cozy blankets from the very next room. Shu Qingshan turned red as a tomato all the way to her neck. She did not move. Maybe I should just drop this idea. Let all 3 sleep on the comfortable bed. I will take the cold floor again. Even my thick skin felt awkward forcing her to share while the other 2 watched. Forget it. You 3 take the bed. I will take the floor. I sighed, starting to put my clothes back on. The 3 froze completely. Chu Qing Chong said softly, "Husband, sleep on the bed. You are incredibly tired today. If you do not want me, I will take the floor." What? When did I not want you? I held her hand, pulling her close. Trust me, you and I will love what happens next. If you really care, why will you not share my bed? Tears suddenly streamed down her face. Hey, why are you crying? Do not cry. I completely panicked and tried explaining. If I did not want you, would I have risked everything to save the Lord's wife? I know my husband treats me well. Marrying you is truly my biggest blessing. You are such a silly girl. So wonderfully silly. I wiped her tears and pulled her close. Marrying you is my ultimate blessing too. That single line touched her deep eyes overflowing with love. The other 2 watched. Gi Jian felt jealous but stayed completely quiet. Stick with me. Wen'er turned away, hiding her complicated feelings about me. Holding this gorgeous, incredibly warm girl. My fire ignited. I scooped her up and carried her to bed. She shyly buried her face against my chest. I pulled the cozy blanket over us. Her skin was incredibly soft, like snow, her perfect shape and warm breathing so close. Even in my old world, she would be a literal goddess. Gi Jian heard soft sounds and saw clothes tossing under the blanket. Her hands clenched tight, eyes turning red. Zhao felt jealous too, but handled it better, gently patting Gi Jian on the shoulder. The lamp went dark. Chu Qingqing and I were finally together, completely open. The bed shook softly with sounds of pure joy. Watch closely. Zhao and Gi Jian stayed awake all night, completely overwhelmed. This strange man possessed some truly incredible magic. Without even realizing it, they had fallen deeply too. Zhao knew one fact. To return home 600 miles away, only this guy could help. Gi Jian thought differently, not hung up on my past. She wondered if she should fully give herself to me, letting me help her get sweet revenge and clear her family's ruined name. We were married in name only. If she refused, I would never force her. Yet day by day, her feelings grew much stronger. He truly felt like her destined hero. She made a quiet promise. If he clears my family name, I will gladly serve him forever, even as a servant. Night finally passed. I woke late to bright skies. The women woke early, but let me rest. Husband, you are awake. Gi Jian entered while I dressed. Her face turned bright red as she helped me dress. Her sudden warmth confused me. Maybe last night was too loud for them. Maybe they wanted some romance too. Where are the other 2? They went to make a nice early breakfast. Breakfast is ready. We were waiting for you. Gi Jian helped me dress and led me to the next room. Chu Qingqing and Zhao were waiting there. Seeing me, both blushed red and waved me over to eat. Leaving Wang's place, I noticed Lao Jiang was completely gone. He had been missing since last night. But since this was his uncle's house, I did not bother asking. Wang prepared horses, a cart, and guards. The wagon was completely loaded with grain supplies. Wang explained, the county lord sent these gifts. He could not offer gold or silver yet, but this would definitely help my life. I counted 300 pounds of grain. That covered our family's grain tax for 2 whole months. I was thrilled. There was a wooden sign saying Hero's Family. Wang warned beggars might target our massive grain stash. The sign kept people away. The Lord thought of everything, even guards to escort us home. I took my wives home, but you and I know what happens next. The crazy story of my magic medicine had already spread everywhere. We reached the village by evening. Getting off the cart, I noticed a massive crowd at my front gate. What is this? Why are you at my door? Seeing me, they quickly cleared a path. Their eyes showed pure envy now, replacing the old hate. Strange. What happened? Did everyone get sick? Suddenly, Lao Jiang ran out, his face covered in dirt, holding a bricklayer tool. Sunjian, you are back. What do you think? He pointed at my house. My eyes lit up. The broken house and ruined yard were gone. The entire place was upgraded. Earth, bricks, and clay tiles looked clean and solid. The walls stood taller, stronger. The thick wooden gate looked grand, easily keeping thieves away. Wow! The three girls hopped off, amazed. They looked thrilled. What is this? I stood confused. Lao Jiang scratched his head. The county lord ordered this surprise. I finally understood. Wang gave Lao Jiang 20 pounds of grain and a fast horse yesterday. Buy supplies, hire workers, and finish before I arrive. That explains Lao Jiang vanishing last night. He rode fast to fix my house. This new home felt amazing. Lao Jiang even built a guest room. From now on, even if my gorgeous wives refused my bed, they would never have to sleep on the cold floor again. Once that hero sign went up, crowds gathered daily. I honestly thought my crazy story would stay quiet in this slow news era. I was totally wrong. Within days, my name became famous locally. Every day brought a new rumor. Some claimed gods taught me, others swore I learned mountain magic. Trust me, you and I are just getting started. Let us jump right in together. Neighbors who always ignored him suddenly visited, trying to befriend his wives. Czar absolutely hated this fake kindness. Chu Qingqing and Gi Jian handled the crowds coming to borrow grain. Folks brought gifts or just begged. Even that arrogant village leader who insulted him before showed up, dropping sweet, fake words multiple times. A once hungry kid, now backed by the county lord? Nobody would ever dare cross him now. Better to please him fast, hoping to dodge payback for old grudges. He honestly ignored all their fake smiles. People always just follow pure power. As long as they stayed out of his way, fine. With his new fame, hiring workers and clearing wild land would be super easy. He definitely was not sitting around. He had his 3 amazing wives help him grow super potato shoots. Those super potatoes sprouted lightning fast. From just a few hundred plants, they hit nearly 10,000. The whole yard was packed. Using his past farming knowledge, he figured 1 acre held 4,000 normal plants. But they were dealing with rough hill land. Plus, these super potatoes were massively huge. One was as big as 4 normal ones. So, 500 plants per acre. That meant clearing 17 or 18 acres of wild land. To clear 18 acres, plus prepare, plant, water, and harvest, he needed at least 20 strong workers. 20 men eat 10 pounds of grain daily, 300 pounds a month. He muttered this aloud. Husband, drink some fresh water. Chu Qingqing offered a cup with the softest smile, resting her chin on her hand, watching him sweetly. Suddenly, the wooden door creaked open. Gi Jian stepped inside. Husband, Lao Jiang is here. Sounds like his task is done. Let him in. Lao Jiang walked in. How is it going? Everything is set. Now watch closely. 20 young workers ready to grind are at the gate. All starving, each one looking dangerously thin. That is fine. Feed them today. Full bellies make the best workers. He already told his wives to cook meat porridge and steam nice grain buns. He was absolutely no cruel boss. Amazing work, Lao Jiang. I just gave you this task 2 days ago, and it is already finished. He patted his shoulder warmly. Do not praise me. Famine is bad. Landless people are everywhere. Just feed them, and they will do absolutely anything. Lao Jiang reported, earning his 10 pounds of grain. But wait. But what? Lao Jiang sighed. So many came, but mostly women and children. Their husbands could not pay the grain tax, so the army drafted them. He felt awful. But this is heavy work. Women and children just eat for nothing. He stared at Lao Jiang with new eyes. Lao Jiang had a kind heart, but our hero did not. He just wanted his family fed. Back when he starved, nobody ever helped him. So he definitely was not saving the world today. Did you bring tools? Yes. Some wooden shovels and wooden picks. Oh wow, these are useless. They would literally snap scooping soft mud. Normal land was way too hard for these. Rocky hill land would be an absolute nightmare. This is all we have. Anyone holding iron tools? Sold them for grain ages ago. He shook his head. Forget those weak wooden ones. Plus, you lack numbers. Do not worry about the tools. I promise to have proper iron tools ready before we ever break the ground. You and I know he has 3 lottery spins left. Too easy. Lao Jiang looked totally doubtful again. 20 iron farm tools? Real iron? Iron was incredibly valuable. You simply could not hide that many. Did he bring them from the city? Nobody had seen a single one. Lao Jiang could not figure it out, so he stopped trying. Miracles always followed him. If he said he had them, he had them. Fine. But wait, can that thing you promised really be ready in just 1 month? What? Doubting him again? It just sounds absolutely crazy. I worry you feed everyone, waste precious grain, and harvest absolutely nothing. Even with the county lord backing you, grain tax day is still coming. The army demands grain. If you cannot pay, nobody can save you. He just patted his shoulder calmly. Stop worrying so much. Get them fed and start working. You will get your share. Chu Ching King, Gi Jian, go eat with Czar. I need to think completely alone. Yes, husband. Left alone, he opened the system. The numbers completely shocked him. Czar reached 32 favorability, up by 7 whole points. Gi Jian reached 37, favorability, up by 10. Chu Ching King hit 49, up by 15. Why jump so much without telling him? Ding. The system explained this before. Alerts and rewards only drop at 10, 20, and 50-point milestones. Right, he totally forgot. 50 is the absolute limit. Hit 50, and they become perfectly loyal to you forever. Their feelings will never change. Then the system binds a new target. Oh, good, he nodded. Then pure cold sweat dropped. Wait, please do not bind him to Lao Jiang or Sun Hao. He would honestly rather perish than win their love. The system almost gave up explaining. Relax, it only selects people closely connected to you. When the system levels up, you get 5 favor targets at once. He immediately felt way better. So, all 3 wives already loved him, just at different levels. Great news. He checked his stats. Strength 68, speed 50, brain 80, charm 70. Items included 19 strong antibiotics, 9 fishing rods, 4 bows with 90 arrows, and 9 adrenaline shots. Lottery showed 2 rare and 1 epic. 2 days, 12 hours, 58 minutes before they vanish. Charm increased by 10 from fame. Use 1 rare. Trust me, this is where we leave it. Rare lottery open. He chose quantity for tools, because fancy quality is absolutely useless. He had wasted both normal lottery chances on the county lord's wife earlier, so he had to spend a precious rare one on tools. Huge waste, but necessary. Bam! 100 sets of fine iron farm tools appeared in his bag. Time for another rare spin. Grain seeds and vegetable seeds. Quantity check. Ding. You got 100 huge bags of fine grain and organic vegetable seeds. The bag system keeps lottery items safe long term. I closed the menu. Those seeds could definitely wait. After 2 solid harvests of super potatoes, our food problem vanishes. Then I can finally plant these seeds. I pulled 10 shovels, 10 rakes, 10 hoes, and 5 heavy plows from my bag. I called everyone inside. When my 3 wives and Lao Jiang saw all these iron tools just sitting right there, they were totally stunned again. This was crazy. Lao Jiang almost stuttered forever. Holding the tools, he just stared at me with his mouth completely open. How? Where did these come from? I casually crossed my arms. Do not ask, just assume. I know fairy magic. The wives looked at each other. They were entirely sure I was no normal man. Maybe a fallen god. Definitely not an evil spirit, because those guys are never this poor. They recovered fast. After enough daily miracles, you stop being so surprised. Let's dive in. I gave him the tools. The job is yours. After harvesting, you keep 30%. I will wait 1 month for this harvest. I patted his shaking shoulder. He pinched himself hard. He felt sharp pain, not a dream. He stared at me like I was an actual earth deity. He stopped doubting my magic. If I really had it, then a 1-month harvest was probably completely real. He would become rich. He picked up the tools and started moving them outside. The grain shortage was officially solved. Vegetables and daily nutrition would not be an issue either. I planned to relax a few days before my next big move. But I forgot. Famous men attract major trouble. Like bright shiny gold, warriors brought both refugees and bandits. The hero family sign kept beggars away, but not bandits. That night, I was joking around with my wives, building much closer romantic feelings. Then a weird sound echoed outside. Crash. Bam. Husband, someone is out there. Gi Jian noticed it first. No stray cat. Someone was climbing into our yard. Maybe a starving person seeking food. Zhao asked softly. No, too late. Starving people do not have enough strength to scale our wall. I stayed perfectly calm. He is right. Climbing walls at night means a thief or dangerous bandit, Gi Jian said. Chu Qingqing covered her mouth, holding me tightly. Zhao was terrified too. Only Gi Jian remained completely steady. The room went dead quiet. I will look. She grabbed her sword. I grabbed her hand. Way too dangerous. Watch closely now. I volunteered instead, warming her heart instantly. Before she could even respond, I had pushed open the heavy door. A super sharp dagger came flying right at my face. Too close. Way too fast. I could not dodge fully, just turned my head. The cold blade scraped my neck. Hot red drops ran down. The attacker wore a black mask. I could not see his identity, just a sharp, strong pain. Damn it all. I had one single chance while he was open. I kicked his stomach insanely hard. He flew back 5 steps, hitting the dirt. The 3 girls rushed behind me, asking if I was hurt. Touching my neck, I saw red marks on my fingers. I quickly covered the scrape. Just a surface scratch. I am okay. Honestly, without the system boosting my overall strength, that sneaky hit could have actually finished me off. Who was this guy? Why attack me late at night? I thought through my enemies list. Only Sanho and Sun who came to mind, but the Lord had both safely locked up now. Chu Qingqing tore her cloth, gently pressing it against my neck, her eyes full of deep worry. Gi Jian grabbed her sword, rushing at the man in black. Hurt her loved one, and you absolutely do not leave here easily. Zhao panicked, unsure what to do. I will grab medicine for cuts. Husband, does it hurt a lot? Not too bad. I watched Gi Jian battle the man in black. She claimed the total upper hand immediately. Just a few sharp moves, and he fell. You and I love this energy. She stomped his back, sword right at his throat. Lady, mercy. You hurt my husband. You almost ended him. Why should I spare you? She pressed the cold sword harder, drawing a red line. No, please do not finish me. Gi Jian, wait up. I walked over and pulled off his dark mask. The man looked 35. Hard face, huge cheekbones, plus a massive scar from his right eye to his ear. Clearly not a good man. Who are you? Why try ending me at night? I stepped heavily on his face. Zero need for politeness with his kind. Ah, he screamed out. My patience runs short. Counting to 3. If you stay silent, I finish you and report to the local office. 1. I will talk, I swear. Please do not end me. Speak. I shifted my foot to his chest. I am Scar. People call me Little Knife. I came just to scout. Scout? Gi Jian had honestly never heard that weird word before. Husband? What is a scout? Chu Qingqing asked curiously. 2. Wow, you do not know? Scouting means gathering vital information, Zhao explained. Chu Qingqing got super brave. Where are you from? Who do you scout for? She looked so adorable, yet fierce. I almost kissed her right there, but my hand covered my scrape. I'm from Wolfhead Mountain. Wolfhead Mountain? That dark name sounded strangely familiar. I searched through my old memories. Then it clicked. Damn, that is the infamous Bandit Mountain, roughly 40 kilometers west of our quiet village. A pure outlaw mountain. Hundreds of bandits robbing, destroying, taking absolutely everything. A few years ago, they only targeted rich people. What do you and I expect after massive wars and famine? Total brutal chaos. Stick with me here. Even wealthy families starved. Soldiers locked down the city, so outlaws targeted innocent villages instead. Survival made everyone completely selfish. Forget honor, just take grain from anyone. Outlaws. Chu Qingqing nervously hid right behind me. Zhao W frowned. Only Gai Jin and I stayed calm. Outlaws? Whatever. Finish him today. No reports. His crew will never know. She raised her blade. Wait. I stopped her again. Why, husband? He almost took you out. He is an outlaw. We cannot let him leave, I sighed. Defeating him now ruins things. You are not from here. You do not know. Outlaws wait out west. North of us is Tiger Plate Mountain, with maybe 17 or 1800 men 80 kilometers away. This guy is simply a scout. When outlaws send scouts, caught or free, they raid soon. He found our village, so we cannot escape. Even Gai Jin looked completely shocked. The other two gasped. Big brother, you really know our world. The outlaw actually praised me. Even if you defeat me, they will come. Better let me leave. I will tell them no grain, no girls here. Keep quiet. Gaijin kicked him hard right down below. He screamed, husband, what now? Should we report to the office? Zhao quickly joined in. Yes, you are the Lord's chosen hero. He will help you. Huh? If reports worked, those outlaws would not have lasted for years. I let out a sharp, cold scoff. But husband, is the Lord not a good man? Why let outlaws roam? I sighed. The Lord has been around for just 2 years. The outlaws have been here over 6. Their roots run very deep. Plus, we are near the Deho border, about 300 kilometers away. Now watch this closely. Strong men join the army. The remaining guards barely protect the city. They have absolutely no time for faraway outlaws. And these outlaw camps sit outside our county. The Lord has no power there. Plus, our county still has people going hungry every day. Zero money, zero grain. Even with the best intentions, those officials really cannot do much. Hiding solves nothing. We leave today, but when do we return? If we move forever, we lose our city home. We cannot crash at someone else's place forever. Zhao was sharp. She totally knew I had a secret plan. So, what do you mean? When trouble arrives, we face it head on. That made the three feel safe again. I had a plan. They just had to trust me. Then my next words shattered that calm. Since they targeted me, those outlaw mountains do not need to exist. What? The three of them shouted that out totally in sync. Completely frozen. Even the outlaw on the ground looked stunned. This man was truly crazy. Wipe out their entire outlaw groups. Absolutely insane. With what army? In this world, even children knew the golden rule. To conquer a fort, you need 3 times the men surrounding it. 5 times. To attack, must be trained soldiers. Tiger Plate Mountain had 2,000 outlaws. The Wolf Camp had 500. Together, nearly 3,000. Even with all city guards, we lacked 3,000 men. Outlaws were fierce fighters. Each one had a dark, heavy history. My words seemed like a joke. What? Why are you looking at me like that? I glanced around. Everyone stared at me incredibly strangely. Husband, you really want to wipe out those outlaws? Yes. What exactly is the problem? They have been sitting up there for years. There are several thousand of them. I shrugged. A few thousand? Give me tens of thousands, and I would still crush them. I walked right out. You and I know he means business. Bring him. We are seeing the village leader. They followed me, completely stunned. Wainer stared at my back. She could not figure out how I would achieve this. Based on my past, I was not a guy who bragged for absolutely nothing. I was a rare genius. Magical medicine, strange tools, powerful gear, and a legendary name. Totally worth writing in the history books. But still, I had a normal human body. Outlaws could easily hurt me. I was injured right now. How could I defeat thousands of cruel fighters? Gai Jin and Chu Ching Chan were way less worried about my grand plan, and much more worried about my injury. Do not worry. Husband fights so well. Sister Hao and I have seen it. Gai Jin sweetly comforted Chu Ching King. We reached the village leader's son Liang Shi's house. He and his wife rushed out to meet us. Leader, no need for tea. I really do not enjoy long, boring talks. I will say it straight. This guy is a Wolfhead Mountain outlaw. He came to scout out our village. So, I easily caught him. They will raid us in 5 days. What do you think? What outlaws? Wolfhead Mountain. The leader was terrified, looking at the man with pure dread. I kicked the outlaw. Show the village leader your proof. Big brother, I am an outlaw. Shut up. Just answer the question. 1 extra word and I will silence you. The outlaw shut up instantly. He honestly thought he might escape from these simple villagers. But this guy was totally different. Not a normal villager. He was incredibly scary. He pulled up his sleeve, showing a wolf head tattoo on his arm. The leader stumbled backward and sat hard on a stone mill. He could not even speak. Having lived here almost 50 years, he absolutely recognized that dark mark. We are done for. We are marked. I leaned in close. The leader and his wife were sweating. Heavens, so scared. Really? How? How can we not be terrified? Our village is marked. Stop panicking right now. I came to discuss this. I have a way to handle them. But I need your help. Run. Sunjin. Tell everyone to hide in the back hills. Bring food. Hey, listen up, old man. Did you hear me? I gave up. Was he so terrified he went crazy? What did you say? I repeated firmly. I have a way. I need help. You handle outlaws? The leader checked my forehead, then his own boy. Trust me, and I want to see what happens next. Let us dive right in. The village always bullied our guy for being incredibly lazy, but everything is changing super fast. He learned medicine and saved the Lord's wife. Do not lose your mind just because villains approach. He sighed, guessing the leader felt too scared. Tell everyone to run. I will handle this alone. His wife argued back, defending his amazing plan. Why run if villains just ruin our homes? What would we return to? Chu-Ching King defended him bravely. He can defeat hundreds of FOs. Sunjian, do not blame my doubts. How confident are you? Lives are serious. He offered a relaxed smile. If you trust and assist me, I am 10 out of 10 sure. Without your help, maybe 7. The leader stared deeply, trying to read his confident eyes. He completely failed and finally sighed. All right, explain your strategy first, and I will judge. He spoke very directly. Simple. We tear down some houses and collect all the grain. We will dig up their cellars and take all their ropes. What? The leader jumped up, his face completely red, shaking with absolute frustration. He was totally speechless. The 3 wives completely froze. Tearing down houses, taking grain, digging cellars, and taking their ropes? That sounded exactly like the villains. He sounded like a total bad guy, not a hero. Husband, seriously? Now, pay close attention here. Chu-Ching Chong felt lost. He had to explain fast. But this wild plan is truly the only way to defeat those villains. Total nonsense. Be quiet. If I did not know you grew up here, I would think you were an enemy spy. Just get out. He stomped his feet loudly. Even if we flee, we will never let you do this. Leave now, or I yell. Husband, please explain yourself. Gai Jin pulled him back. If he did not explain immediately, the village would completely turn on itself before the enemies even arrived. Yes, please explain. Even I thought you were a spy. Zana rolled her eyes. This old guy is too grumpy. He calmly waved his hands. These villains are hundreds of cruel fighters. Without intense strategies, we cannot possibly win. Tearing down houses just means taking wooden beams from empty shacks to build epic traps. FOs will get absolutely crushed and eliminated. Nobody's real home gets touched. Oh, Joanna happily clapped. In taking grain, call me husband and I will reveal it. She blushed bright red. Absolutely no way. Fine. Skip it. Taking grain matters in this famine. Villains are coming straight for food and people. Having food scattered everywhere is totally impossible to manage safely. We actually have plenty of weapons, but lack brave fighters. If food stays spread out, everyone will only focus on saving their own families. When villains finally attack, many will panic and try fleeing. Fleeing means taking their food. Stolen food means panic, which makes our entire village crumble. So, we collect everything and track it perfectly. After the enemies fall, everyone gets it back. I have plenty at home. I do not need theirs. Oh, this is like breaking our own pots. Zero turning back. We only push forward together. Gai Jin's eyes brightly lit up at this clever lore tactic. Waiting calmly to fight an exhausted enemy, Zhao Wunner happily added. He proudly nodded. Digging cellars simply means hiding the kids and elders safely underground. A genius tunnel. War. Then our strong heroes can fight without any worry. Taking ropes is for capturing those villains. Hundreds of them. Where else would I find ropes? You see where this is going, right? His wives looked at him with pure worship. The leader thought hard, realizing this brilliant trap strategy could actually work flawlessly. They had a genuine chance. Sunjin, you mentioned having awesome weapons. From where? His voice sounded way calmer now. My incredible husband crafts weapons. His bows are pure magic. Even regular folks can nail targets 100 steps away. Guyan totally sold him out. He shot her a look. Too honest. She thought his bows were unlimited, but he only had a few packed. Without another lucky draw, gear was a massive issue. Wait, you forge iron weapons too? Why did I never know this? The leader doubted him once again. When did he learn all this? Brilliant, focused, and sharp plans. Totally unlike the lazy old Sun Jian they knew. Was this even Sanji anymore? See, he hid his awesome power perfectly. Even the leader who watched him grow up is clueless, whispered to Chu-Ching Ching. Chu-Ching Chun completely ignored the complaint, feeling nothing but pure joy. Yes, our brilliant husband can do absolutely anything. Your husband, not mine, Wana happily reminded her. He is not mine. My true match must be highborn. Only the emperor himself above him. That last part, Zhao whispered softly. Her past royal life had totally shaped those standards. She did not even realize she was hiding deep feelings for him. She refused to search her own heart. He totally missed all their secret whispering. He playfully nudged the leader. Old man, stop talking. I know tons of awesome things, but I do not need to share every secret. Are you helping or not? Otherwise, I handle this alone. Flee if you want, but when villains leave, do not cry if your houses are ruined. I cannot magically protect every house. Sun Liangxi finally made his choice. I will help. With a real shot at victory, why not try? He was risking his own family anyway. Running just meant finding burnt homes later. Perfect. No time to waste. We start this grand plan tonight. The strategy has 3 steps. First, drag this captured villain east of the village and summon every single villager. Tell everyone the villains are approaching, and I called the royal guards. Second, those guards need at least 5 days to arrive here. Until then, all food goes to one spot. 0 private stash allowed. Elders and kids will hide while we dig underground tunnels everywhere. Finally, strong men build epic traps. Any questions? You definitely want to see this. Alright, you and I are about to watch pure genius unfold. The leader admitted that digging and gathering people was fine, but grain was tricky. Simple solution. Just tell them their grain hides securely inside someone else's tunnel. They fear bandits stealing their stash, but keeping it home is risky too. So sharing actually works. The leader nodded, totally amazed by this logic. They arranged to meet east in 1 hour. He secured the bad guy, went door to door with his wife, and soon trusted villagers gathered. I headed home with my wives, walking silently. My mind was completely focused on traps. Gai Jin playfully nudged Joanna. Sister, can our husband really defeat all those bandits? She wanted to shout, your husband, not mine, but she playfully kept that thought to herself. Do you trust him? Of course. I just worry he might get hurt. Those bandits are awful. Hey, do not worry at all. He fights just as amazingly as you do. A female warrior is super rare. In peaceful times, you would be a general's daughter. Her heart raced. Her expression shifted suddenly. She tried hiding it, saying it was just a joke. Zhao Wanner let it go, since her own past remained totally hidden. Pushing Gai Jin for secrets meant exposing her own. So, she smoothly changed topics. Has he ever taken a risk without being sure? Sister Chu might miss it, but you definitely see how many brilliant tricks our husband always uses. Let me count. Knowing they arrive, letting them come, and using their own plan. Lying in wait and setting sneaky traps while keeping everyone totally safe. That means letting enemies get exhausted while we comfortably rest. Closing the door to trap thieves. Using fake guards for grain. That is catching the wind. Breaking the cooking pots just proves his incredibly clever and absolutely brilliant strategy. He tricked the leader and crafted this whole plan. That makes 6 amazing tricks already. Do you really think he stands a chance? She was awestruck. I noticed them whispering and spun around. What are you chatting about? Hurry up. We have important things to finish back at home. Arriving home, I grabbed my last 4 bows and 90 arrows. I told Gai Jin to teach Chu Qingqing and Zhao Wanner some archery in the yard. Now watch this. I hit my room to use the system. 1 epic lottery remained. After this, my next spin required Chu Qingqing's favor to max out. Gai Jin and Zhao Wanner were stuck at 37 and 32. Far from 50. Without any recent gains. I needed fresh tactics. System, lottery, weapons, or traps. Ding. Please choose only one category. Oh man, then give me modern weapons. 2 tanks or some sweet AK rifles would be awesome. I nervously rubbed my forehead. I almost begged for a rocket launcher to blast all those villains away instantly. Ding. Modern weapons can only drop through the completely random weapon lottery. No guarantees at all. What if I scored bows instead of guns? Any epic explosives? Ding. Items disrupting this era too much are forbidden. Only random. Fine. Traps it is. Traps definitely will not change history. Ding. Epic lottery activated. Quantity or quality? Quantity, obviously. I received 100 self-triggering iron logs and 100 fire roll stones. 10 infrared trigger crossbows with 1,000 giant arrows. 100 trigger crossbows, 1,000 iron arrows. 100 trap nets. 10,000 hidden iron spikes, 20 bouncing horse barriers and ground spike sets. Wow, this epic lottery is truly unbelievable. So many trap items, mostly self-triggering or high-tech infrared. I know what you are thinking, this is totally broken, no special skills needed. With these traps, hundreds of enemies, or even 10,000 soldiers would definitely lose. For your first epic lottery, you also receive 5 anti-soldier mines, and 1 high-level gift box. Wait, mines? I was completely stunned. What an incredible gift. I never imagined epic spins dropping actual modern weapons. Wolfhead Mountain and Tiger Plate Mountain meant nothing anymore. I could storm their bases. But wait, mines are just trap weapons, not for direct attacking. Still, I had solid backup. Now, that high-level gift box can wait forever. Closing the system, confidently strolled right out of the room. Husband, you finally came out. Shu Qing dropped her bow and happily grabbed my arm. How was practice? Sister Jin says we learned incredibly fast. We have the form totally down. I playfully poked her nose, knowing my Qing was the absolute best. She blushed brightly, hiding her face against me. Gai Jin got slightly jealous, while Wanner proudly turned away. I gently let go of Cha-Ching and awkwardly cleared my throat. This bow is super easy. Aim well and stay calm. 1 perfect shot. The village leader should definitely have everybody gathered up by now. Let us head to the east side. Gai Jin's eyes sparkling brightly. Husband, you finally have a complete master plan ready now? Oh, absolutely. Even if 20,000 bandits attacked, none would escape. Let us go and bring the bows. I walked out, my 3 wives following, with total, absolute worship. 300 eager villagers were already gathered. Only the very old and weak stayed safely home. The leader explained everything, but endless years of suffering had broken their spirits. Even hearing about incoming guards, they looked just like terrified little birds. They were not rejecting the leader at all. They were just terrified. Historically, absolutely nobody ever fought those bandits and managed to survive. Leader, we trust you, but those enemies are ruthless. We are starving farmers. How can we possibly fight back? Yes, leader. 3 whole days of prep, but missing just 1 day of work means my family starves. My personal situation is incredibly tough too. Without Sun Jian's work, I would be begging. The leader sighed, feeling too hopeful. But trust me, you and I know our hero will fix this. Stick with me here. You and I are about to watch absolute village chaos unfold entirely. Damn you. My old mom is 70. My poor wife is starving. 4 days. A crying baby. How can we run to the mountains? Why should I care at all? My family starved last year. I only have myself now. You seriously have no soul, ergo Z. If our houses burn down, where do we go? If Sun Jin had not hired you recently, you would be gone. The entire crowd fell into total chaos. Fights violently broke out. The leader completely failed to stop them. Everyone stop right now. I finally arrived, voice cutting through. Most stopped fighting instantly and stared at me. Damn, I absolutely hate fighting among ourselves. I kicked Ergo flying through the air. Then I easily grabbed the troublemakers, tossing them aside one by one. Before today, the whole village looked down on me. Since the Lord officially honored me, absolutely no one dared speak against me aloud. Plus, many strong men ate my food this week. They would not say a single word. During a famine, the man feeding you is basically your god. Just a few hundred bandits? So what? They are not even here right now. And yet, you are literally fighting each other. I confidently walked onto the platform with the leader. Just because some stayed quiet did not mean everyone agreed. A tall, skinny man stood up boldly. Sun Jin, fully admit you are different now. You forge iron and heal people. You have powerful TIs to the office. You have extra grain and tools. Even I, old Shia, deeply respect you. Normally, I would never dare cross you. But this is completely different. I have never eaten your food. I owe you absolutely nothing. I will survive on my own. Even begging is way better than fighting ruthless bandits. Losing a house is better than losing your life. Old Shia farmed land, but recent years grew absolutely nothing. 2 years ago, the office assigned him a wife. She starved within days. Now, he only hunted in the hills. Yes, listen up, Sun Jin. It is not that we refuse to listen. We just cannot fight those bandits. Too many will fall. The crowd grew loud again. Quiet. I held up my hand firmly. I totally understand your fear, but you do not even know my plan. How can you say we will fall? Just set a trap and wait for soldiers, right? Bandits carry actual swords. We just have iron tools. Bandits are everywhere. We will lose so many. I smiled confidently. Now pay attention here. Watch what I pull out of my system next. The leader just stared at the weird iron lump in my hand. Confused villagers whispered, "This is the ultimate trap I made to fight bandits." What? This strange iron lump? Huh? Are you totally joking right now? Throw it at their heads, Sun Jin. An iron shovel would hit harder. I stayed quiet. Just let them laugh. They will not be laughing soon. Sister Chu, what exactly is that? Gai Jin asked. I do not know, but our husband must have a brilliant reason, Chu Qingqing said. Zhaoana rolled her eyes. Who knows what crazy tricks he has now? Remember his weird fishing rod? No hook, but fish floated right up. If he promises it works, maybe it actually does. The villagers doubted him. Some panicked people begged the leader to let them pack and flee. Feeling intense pressure, the leader spoke. Sun Jian, if you joke now, they will all leave. That was exactly what I wanted. Wait a second. I have not explained how this works. How do you know it fails? Bandits arrive in 3 days. We have plenty of time. Just watch its raw power first. Old Zhao, please help me. I stepped down and placed the heavy mine right into his hands. Who has a fire stick? Bring it over. Me. Lao Jiang excitedly ran up with one. I quickly adjusted the mine into a giant explosive grenade and pulled out its fuse. Old Xia, you are incredibly strong. Throw it as far as possible. I pointed at a broken house. You and I know what comes next. Total destruction. Throw it there. He could not answer. I had already sparked the fuse. I specifically chose Old Xia because he was the absolute loudest complainer. Convince him, and most weak men would definitely follow. Plus, he was super strong from hunting. Hold steady, or we all perish together. The fuse violently spit out sparks. Old Xia shook. Gunpowder was not totally new here. Travelers used it for cheap tricks, and festivals used it for small flashy fires. Rich families bought it for fortune potions, but never for actual battles. People simply did not realize it could become a devastatingly explosive bomb. Gunpowder. A few knowledgeable villagers suddenly gasped loudly. The smart wives recognized it too. Throw it. Old Xia took 2 quick running steps and launched it hard. Get down. Cover your ears. I instantly covered mine and crouched. The terrified villagers copied me. Suddenly, the field went dead silent. I eagerly waited for the boom. 1 2 5 6 nothing. Damn, what happened? Confused villagers slowly stood back up. Even the leader angrily shouted, Sunjin, what are you doing? Boom. A massive sound violently shook the entire world. The dark night turned bright as day. The blast instantly shredded 4 empty houses. Wood and stone flew absolutely everywhere. A tiny mushroom cloud rose up, ringing ears. The world spun. Some standing villagers were literally blown completely backward by the intense wind. Just minor injuries, thankfully. I casually waved away the dust and spit. When the thick smoke cleared, everyone stood absolutely frozen. Like lost souls, their faces showed pure terror. That deafening boom came from nowhere like terrifying thunder. Are you okay? I sprinted to my wives. We are fine. Cough. Cough. Husband, you actually made this? What in the world is it? Gai Jin looked like she just discovered an entirely new universe. Yes, but its raw power was way bigger than I expected. I observed the burning ruins. They endlessly praised me. Wayner walked to the ruins. Trust me, you and I just witnessed absolute god-tier power. Stick with me here. The stunned villagers slowly snapped back to reality. Walking toward the smoking ruins, their old houses were gone. Black scorched earth and a huge crater. The terrified villagers just stared at me in complete awe and fear. Old Zhao, Ergo, and Lao Jiang were totally stunned. I literally just mixed gunpowder with basic stuff. Honestly, I only expected a few houses to fall. Even I was shocked by the raw power. What is this thing called? The leader asked. Originally a ground mine, I upgraded it into a hand mine. Hopping back onto the platform, I smiled. Do not panic. If used right, it will never hurt us. It only activated when old Chow tossed it. I have way more traps, upgraded bows, falling rocks, and heavy logs. That hand, mine was just a quick test. With my gear, we easily beat hundreds of bandits. Even if Deho sent 10,000 soldiers, nobody escapes. Do you guys finally believe me now? Their pure panic turned into bright hope. Yes, we believe. We are safe. The happy villagers cheered loudly. Their respect for me absolutely skyrocketed. Chu Qingqing and Gi Jin stared with sparkling, amazed eyes. But sadly, only Zhao Wer was not smiling today. She muttered about stopping to house army. You dare? The system chimed. Zhao Wer favor -1, now 31. Gi Jin +3 now 40. Chu Qing King +1, hitting 50. Seeing the numbers, I frowned. Of course, she was the Du princess. My bold words about fighting Du's army completely terrified her. I definitely need to remember that. Ding. Chu Qing King favor at 50 maximum. She is yours forever. You get 1 legendary lottery valid for 30 days. Plus 20 free attribute points. New person binding soon. I closed the system and started planning the bandit trap. After the wild explosion, nobody ever questioned me. People actually started calling me the Thunder God in human form. Naturally, I stayed completely true to my word. Now watch this part closely. I split my grain into rations for the villagers, but strictly to keep them working. After this, I literally never worried about food again. My super potatoes would be ready soon. After that, delicious food would never run out. I quickly sent the bandit Scar to the office under heavy guard. Then, I ordered everyone to set traps. They worked incredibly hard, eager to help. Old Chow took charge. In just one day, the village transformed entirely. Out of 5 entrance paths, we blocked 3. One way in, one way out. The entrance had very few traps. We honestly needed the bandits to walk all the way through. I ordered the men hidden at the gate to let everyone inside. Do not scare them off early. Just wait for the interior traps to spring. When they run back, drop the giant iron logs to fully seal the door. Trap those dogs in the yard. Inside, we hid traps absolutely everywhere. Inside every house, alley, and crossing, we hid heavy iron logs, fiery stones, and all sorts of crazy traps. To totally stop them from fleeing elsewhere, we placed strong horse barriers, sharp ground spikes, and heavy iron cows outside the village wall gaps. When the surviving bandits finally tried to flee, the only exit led straight to villagers holding giant nets. Nobody could escape. Every single trap perfectly fed right into the next. It was perfect. The cheerful villagers praised me to the high heavens. I became their healing god, war god, and thunder god. You and I know the drill. I just smiled. Listen, bandits might attack early. Guarding the entrance and exit, stay exactly right there. Do not leave. The leader will send food, and your families are safe. Amazingly, nobody even tried to argue this time. Sunjin, I am actually quite curious, the leader suddenly said. Speak. If those bandits attack tonight, why not hide our vulnerable families in the tunnels right now? No need. Bandits only have one way inside. 2 lookouts wait on the west hill. Seeing them approach, they simply ring the loud gong. The distant bandits will never hear it. I see. Turning to old Zhao and Lao Zhang, I smiled. Lookout duty is officially yours. Do not worry, Sun Jin. We absolutely will not mess this up. Good. Everyone else, head home and rest. Stepping off the platform alongside the leader and elders, I warmly said good night. Then I brought my wives home. Back inside, the 3 repeatedly asked me how I actually crafted that wild hand mine. I honestly tried to explain, but as technical words piled up, they understood less. Husband, just tell us the truth. Are you a literal god? Calm down. A scholar god, a war saint. Yes. And those traps? I never saw such amazing things since the triggered crossbows. Smart. Giant nets. You never built these around us. They just magically appeared. Same goes for the bow and those super potatoes. They appeared from nowhere. I rubbed my forehead. The more I actually explained, the more questions kept coming up. They were like curious cats. In the end, I gave one final answer to stop everything. Heaven's secrets simply cannot be told. Just as Zhao Wer was about to ask more, someone loudly knocked on the door. Bang, bang, bang. Who is it at this late hour? I quickly went to open it. Sunjin, it is me. The leader stood there holding 2 dusty old jars of wine. He looked incredibly grateful. You really worked hard today. My wife has saved this wine for 5 whole years. We actually almost traded it for grain last year, but she strictly would not let me. We never drank it. It is the absolute most valuable thing in our home. I bring it to you today. First, you saved our village. Second, you fed many of us. As leader, I truly thank you. He was completely sincere, but I wasn't a man who lived just for thanks. Leader, you are very kind, but everything I did was also for me. Hiring villagers to work fighting bandits? That was mostly for my own family's safety. Makes you think, right? I told the absolute honest truth. Hiring them meant working for food. A fair trade. Stick with me. We are diving into a wild story. He fought bandits just to protect his super potatoes, totally using those villagers. We both got something from this. I cannot accept your wine. Take it back. He looked completely hurt. Sanjin, do not look down on this. This wine could trade for 100 pounds of grain. That could buy several wives. The old man was lying, but I stayed quiet. His sincerity was real. I gave him face. Truly, fine wine. Our most valuable treasure. The villagers really want you to have it. Please, take it. You are our hope. If you refuse, I lose face. Sighing, took the jar. Fine, go home and get some rest. The leader smiled widely and left. I shook my head, watching him. What did ancient wine taste like? I should try it tonight. 3 wives, but only one shares my bed. Such a waste. Maybe get them all tipsy tonight. Maybe sleep with all 3 tonight. I brought the jar inside and grabbed some instant noodles from the kitchen as quick snacks. Come on, all 3 of you are drinking with me tonight. I poured the bowls. The popped seal released a strong smell. We are drinking tonight. Chu Ching Chong was shocked. They just saw the leader arrive. Watch closely. Here is where it gets fun. He had a wild plan tonight. She sat down, perfectly obedient. Ancient women obeyed their husbands blindly. Good wine. I have not smelled this in years. Gai Jin was truly bold. She grabbed her bowl immediately and sniffed it. She remembered the very last time she drank. Her family was once a great Dushin noble house. Then her father picked the losing side. Villains spread lies. Branded as rebels, they lost absolutely everything. Wine requires grain. In famines, even rich families save food. Just smelling wine was a massive luxury. Truly good stuff. She sipped it. Let me smell. Za leaned closer. Yes, not bad. The leader spoke truth. This could trade for 100 pounds of grain. I frowned and rolled my eyes at them both. These 2 lacked worldly experience. One a princess, the other a noble, yet they seriously thought this trash was good wine. Wainer pushed me playfully. Why that face? You girls have not seen anything yet. I bit into my noodles. I almost slipped. She quickly caught herself. You are the clueless one here. This is great wine. Gai Jin agreed. Yes, husband. Wine like this is super rare. Chu Ching Chong whispered softly. I know nothing, but it smells amazing. Ignore him. Let us drink. He knows nothing about wine, Czar laughed. I chewed my noodles. This wine is painfully basic. Just lightly fermented and filtered. 10% alcohol max. Absolute trash. Even I could brew something 100 times better without aging it for years. Wow. Chu Qing's eyes lit up. Really, husband? Guyan held my arm. Of course. When have I lied? My method is entirely unique. After finishing those bandits, I will make you legendary wine. You will see. I was confident. You and I both know he is overpowered. He never even needed the system. Their best local wine only hit 20% alcohol. Real wine demands intense heat, distilling, cooling, filtering, then distilling again. Wait, you actually know about winemaking too? Joanner stared at me differently. Was there anything I could not do? Want to bet? If I succeed, will you call me husband like them? I took this chance to flirt. She blushed deep red. I will not. You are my wife. Calling me husband is right. She had absolutely no answer. If my wine is 100 times better, you owe me 1 kiss. Deal? Her face burned redder. Chin lifted. Fine. If you succeed, I will consider it. Deal. The mood was great. I changed the subject. Let us drink. Cheers. We laughed, sharing cheeky jokes. They blushed deeply. After 3 rounds, I smirked. Let us play truth or dare. Lacking dice, I skipped the gambling games entirely. Watch closely. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock crushes scissors. Scissors cut paper. Paper covers rock. Got it? Winner asks something. Losers cannot refuse. Even fools saw my greedy eyes. Chu Ching and Gi Jin imagined wild scenarios and turned bright red. Heads lowered, bracing for impact. Czar was entirely different. What is there to fear? 3 against 1. If we win, we command you. Fine, let us play. No takebacks. Ching Chong. First, rock, paper, scissors. Heaven was on my side today. 3 rounds. I crushed everyone. You 3 lost. Now for my request. No way. Does not count. Zhao W. sensed danger. You are openly cheating. Play again, or I refuse your demands. You will ask for that, and I am not ready." She turned away, blushing hard. I almost argued back, but forcing things felt wrong right now. She might agree under pressure, but I really wanted her completely willing. We had time. Let her win this round. Fine. One last time. After this, zero cheating allowed. You two cannot cheat either. The other two were quiet. My heart raced. I said my request fast. The losers tonight sleep in my bed. Trust me, we will never forget this. Candles out. Left hand holding Chu-Ching-Ching, right grabbing Gi-Jin. Trust me, you want to see this. We sat. Wanner jumped like a frightened rabbit. Chu-Ching-Ching and Gi-Jin gasped, pulling away, but I held tight. We made a deal. Win or lose. No backing out. I promised. As their husband just sleep, nothing else. Chu-Ching-Ching was totally fine. She had been with me before, but Gi-Jin made things awkward. She was so shy. With some gentle coaxing and clever tricks, she finally agreed. Wanner stamped her foot, muttered about me being shameless, and stormed off. My plan worked. So what if I acted shameless? I had to. Otherwise, no woman would ever approach me. They were already my wives anyway. Nothing could stop me from sharing a bed with my own wives. A little trick to win them over was fine. In bed, I removed all of my clothes. Both of them were blushing hard. You promised. Just sleep. Yes, I am only sleeping. I just happen to prefer sleeping without any clothes on. I completely sweet-talked them into removing their outer clothes too. Lying between them, my hands gently moved around. Both were absolutely perfect. Soft where it mattered, perfectly firm elsewhere. Under the moonlight, Chu-Ching-Ching looked stunningly flawless. Gi-Jin was incredibly smooth and strong. Soft sounds escaped both of them. I rolled over, playfully pinning Gi-Jin beneath me. I was just about to start. Then, a sound echoed from the village. Bang, bang, a warning gong. Far away, but crystal clear. Husband. Gi-Jin was completely lost in the moment. She did not care anymore, but I had to pause. Wait, listen. Bang, bang, bang. Getting closer now. I recognized that sound perfectly. Old Zhao and Lao Jiang were warning about bandits. Damn, they arrived way early. I jumped up, dressed fast, and lit a candle. The two women snapped back to reality and dressed too. Wanner was wide awake. She was in the next room listening. She rushed in for orders. Damn bandits. They attack right now of all times. Gi-Jin, take them to the cellar immediately. Keep them safe. I pulled on my robe and sprinted outside. Now, pay close attention here. These ruthless bandits moved way faster than I ever originally expected. Thank goodness I already built those traps and posted lookouts. Most of our strong village men were already at my gate, eagerly awaiting orders. The village leader and elders arrived, supported by the youth. Old Zhao and Lao Jiang stopped hitting the gong, gasping for air. Bandits are coming. Hundreds on horses with torches. Sanjian, same plan? Yes. I quickly glanced up at the moon. We have very little time before they strike. Old Zhao, head to the entrance. Tell our men to stay perfectly calm. Let them enter, then block the road. Lao Jiang, head to the exit. Signal when to drop the giant net. Stop. Anyone escaping? Nobody escapes. Leader, go. Take some men and beat the gong. Tell every single household to hide in their cellars. Avoid our traps. Everyone moved fast. The epic hunt began. Bandits rode in finding nobody and felt incredibly happy. Brothers, take the grain. Grab the women. Crush any resistance. Hooves pounded next to torches and curved swords. They brutally kicked open every single door, but every house was completely empty. Even chickens vanished. Boss, something is wrong. This village is so strange. A lonely bandit was reporting when an arrow suddenly flew, striking his chest perfectly. He collapsed instantly. He went down instantly. Damn these villagers, setting traps. Find them and crush them completely. The big boss roared furiously. The bandits rushed into the yards hunting for hidden villagers, but found nobody. Those arrows fired from automated, infrared-triggered crossbows. Hunting empty rooms just got more bandits taken down. Whoosh, whoosh. Arrows flew everywhere. Bandits dropped instantly. You and I both know they are terrified. Big brother. Ghosts are here. Damn you. We are fearless bandits. Dismount your horses now. Find the villagers. Off their horses, they were easy targets. More arrows, logs, and stones rained down. Many were wiped out. The villagers moved flawlessly as one unit. Panicking, bandits tried fleeing, but the road was totally blocked. The boss and closest men reached the exit. Horse barriers, spikes, caltrops, no way through. Fully trapped. 500 bandits wiped out in under 2 hours. Only a few dozen remained standing. Lao Jiang dropped the giant net on the final group. Under 2 hours. Total victory. 0 villagers harmed. 46 bandits captured. The rest utterly defeated. The villagers cheered. Women and children emerged from cellars. Everyone gathering around me. To them, I was a legend. Walking with my wives, they crowded around. Sanjian, you are our god. 500 bandits defeated or caught. Nobody hurt. This is completely superhuman. He has magic, medicine, and epic bombs just like the thunder gods. And now this plan. A man like this comes once a millennium. I felt great. Even village widows gave me completely different looks. Now, Sanjian, I am rough. I doubted you before, but today, I see perfectly. You are absolutely no small fish. You will rise like a mighty dragon. Following you is my honor. My life is yours. I follow anywhere. I patted old Zhao's shoulder. Sanjian, what do we do with these bandits? The leader bowed. These men destroyed and burned. Each carried immense guilt on their hands. I wouldn't waste words on them. Clean the area. Lao Jiang, take the captured bandits to the office. So what do we learn here? Never mess with a mastermind. Do we hide tonight? Nah. With Wolfhead Mountain completely defeated, we are perfectly safe. Stick with me here. We are jumping into the aftermath. Tiger Plate Mountain is far, so just send daily scouts. Knowing about Wolfhead keeps them careful. To be totally safe, leader, have old Chow clear out those untriggered traps. Then, build fresh ones outside the village. Just keep them away from public paths, and our village stays safe forever. The villagers cheered loudly and got to work. The long night was finally ending. Dawn was breaking fast. I just wanted to take my wives home and finish our sweet romantic moments. But right as I laid down, someone knocked again. Bang, bang, bang. Who is it now? Goodness. Cannot a guy just rest in absolute peace, please? I almost shouted out loud. 3 times now. It is me, Lao Jiang. I know you are tired, but the Lord is actually here. The Lord? I dropped my frustration and jumped up to open the door fast. He is here so early? After sending that bandit boss to the office yesterday, the Lord must have heard about the massive raid and rushed here straight through the night. Normally, County Lord ignores bandits. The deputy handles that. But this old guy was over 50 and rode all night just to help us out. I was truly moved. Sir, please come inside. I warmly welcomed him in and asked Chu Ching Chong to brew tea. The Lord stared at me with bright, excited eyes, looking incredibly proud and absolutely amazed. Brilliant work, he repeated 3 times. My old eyes were right. A true young hero. Our hometown county has such a wonder. I rubbed my nose, feeling quite embarrassed. We were just lucky. When I heard those bandits were approaching your village, I was terrified. I gathered my guards and rode through the dark without resting. We hit the village gate and bumped right into your people taking the captured enemies to my office. They said you saw right through the bandits and completely trapped them. Defeated over 400. Caught the boss. 0 villagers hurt. He looked so proud, like he did it himself. Sir, you praise too much. I simply had extra time to prepare. You are way too modest. I am not blind. A guy knowing magic, medicine, crafting thunder bombs, making epic bows, setting flawless traps, and planning perfectly, that is not just luck. His face turned completely serious. Now watch closely. You hide incredible talents. I got the feeling he was not just here to thank me. The Lord raised his hand skyward. Years ago, our Qian Wu Emperor was merely a king under the corrupt Sui dynasty. He fought hard to build this Dayan empire. We are brand new. There is so much to do. With your immense talent, why not proudly serve our Dayan emperor? There it is. He was trying to pull me into the royal court. I healed his wife, so he rode all night just for me. To most men, this was an amazing dream gift, a fast path out of poverty and into power. But not for me. I refuse to wear chains. I refuse to be the emperor's foot soldier just for some fancy clothes. I already had the system. What did I possibly lack? Let's be real. One day, I will stand above all emperors. Court life is dangerous, honestly. Like working with a wild, hungry tiger. One wrong word and it is game over. I hate looking for trouble, so I changed subjects fast. Sir, please let us drop that topic. You traveled all this way. Let me grab you some amazing food you have never tasted before. What? He blinked. I told Chu Ching Chong to make instant noodles for the Lord. He still wanted to talk, so I clapped my hands. Sir, please sit. I will go dig up an epic treasure for you to taste. I left the room. Husband, where are you digging those few potatoes? Gi Jian and Zhao Weiner absolutely hated being alone with the Lord. They chased after me. Husband, wait for us. While walking, Gi Jian proudly whispered to Zhao Weiner, Sister, it sounds like the Lord seriously wants our husband to become a high-ranking official. He could become a top minister soon, even an easy duke. So what? Zhao Weiner completely sneered. She was not against me becoming an official, just not a Duxin official. Sister, what is wrong with you? Our husband is a scholar. All scholars desire a high position. With the Lord backing him, he skips exams entirely. Then it absolutely does not have to be in Duxin. He could travel to Du. He could even become a king. Wait, what? She had almost said way too much. But honestly, anything beats being an official in Duxin. Sister, are you not from Duxin yourself? Gi Jian gave her a sharp look. She long suspected Zhao Weiner was hiding something huge. She was a general's daughter herself. Zhao could easily belong to the royal Du family. Of course I am. I just think Du is much more stable. Zhao spoke fast. Dian is only 10 years old. Du has had 5 emperors. Even through wars and famine, Du remains more developed. But husband is from Duxin. Gi Jian was not buying it. The new Du king grabbed his throne by force too. Du had its own troubles. The amount of past kings never measures how great a country is for officials. The old Sui dynasty had multiple kings before Dian arrived. Many good men fell there. A new country with everything to build was better. I was a true Duxin native. I would never face suspicion. What does country matter? Yan's prime minister is from Du. You are too, right? Hey, what are you two whispering back there? Hurry up. I called from ahead. Gi Jian wanted to push further, but dropped it. Zhao Weiner sighed. Trust me on this. Me serving Dian means Du never gets peace. That's where we leave it today. Alright, stick with me here. With my help, Dian could easily defeat them all. But if she regains her princess title, she'll definitely tie me up and drag me away. She'd give absolutely anything to keep me on her team. Anyway, the nearby hill where I planted my potatoes was super close. But arriving there? Absolute shock. Withered vines covered the ground. All my beautiful growing potato shoots were just tossed completely everywhere. 2 whole acres of fresh plants trashed, like wild animals rampaged through. My heart absolutely broke. What happened? Bad soil? Zhao and Gi Jin walked up, completely speechless too. This definitely isn't a soil issue. It honestly looks like something chewed them up, right? Someone actually did this, not nature. I just sighed. These were super potatoes. They easily grow in water, so dirt was never an issue. People, did a villager sabotage my husband on purpose? Gi Jin frowned hard. Who would even dare? It had to be wild dogs or some crazy forest animals. I closely checked the chewed up stems. Definitely humans. They only snacked on the soft leaves and tops, completely ignoring those bitter vines. The girls crouched down, inspecting the damage. Wow, you can literally see human teeth marks. Goodness, who would actually eat this stuff? Right? Can humans even stomach this? I just gave them a blank stare. One's a rebel general's daughter, the other's a literal princess. They'd never experienced true hunger. Since marrying me, they always ate perfectly. They've never witnessed seriously starving folks before. When folks get desperate enough, they consume anything. Tree bark, leaves, or plain dirt. Total desperation pushes vulnerable people to absolute extremes. Now, pay close attention here. This crisis was everywhere, but Sun Village got lucky. I sighed, keeping that dark truth totally secret. Has anybody spotted wandering beggars nearby? Not that I know of, Gi Jin replied. Definitely don't ask me. The girls questioned the locals. Nothing. Whatever. We are so lucky we chose potatoes. If this was wheat or normal veggies, boom, vanished. Husband, let's head back now. Not yet. Help me unearth these potatoes. I immediately started digging in the dirt barehanded. These two enjoyed eating potatoes, but had zero clue how they actually grew. They assumed they hung from vines like sweet melons. Seeing me dig one up absolutely made their jaws drop. Potatoes actually grow underground. I just shrugged. Did I ever claim they sprouted on top? I proudly lifted a potato the size of my entire hand. Super potatoes are ridiculously robust. Not even fully grown yet, totally massive. Those folks munching on leaves had no idea the real prize was literally beneath their toes. Digging just an inch would have given them an epic meal, instead of bitter greens. Super lucky for us. Stop standing around and help. Together, the three of us harvested several dozen fresh potatoes. Lacking extra bags to carry them, carefully recovered the remaining holes. We finally marched back home, arms completely overflowing with giant potatoes. Back home, a massive crowd swarmed my doorstep again. The village chief and elders heard the Lord visited and rushed over. I easily spotted La Jiang and Old Chow waiting eagerly. I quickly ordered them to dispatch dedicated farm workers to strictly guard the remaining potato fields. Absolutely, no more strangers munching my precious crops. I worked incredibly hard for those. My two loyal guys instantly bolted off to gather some guards. Xian, steam these potatoes quickly, then serve them to the Lord. Yes, husband. I strolled into the room. The chief and elders instantly stood up to welcome me. Sir, you visited the fields? The Lord noticed my muddy clothes. Yep, I promised you an incredible surprise. Just 30 minutes and we feast. During a famine year, what could it be? The Lord wondered aloud. You and I know what's coming, right? As county lord, he's seen every grain imaginable, even without tasting them. Just wait. I kept the hype totally secret. The village elders had never witnessed potatoes either. They only heard rumors. Today, they'd finally see and taste the magic. Sharing this treasure felt pretty great. Plus, they'd help me cultivate way more later. Then, the Lord suddenly switched subjects. I mailed a letter to my teacher, Governor Yao, recommending you. Governor Yao recommending me? My stomach totally dropped. Who on earth was Governor Yao? Sounds like an insanely massive title. Was this stubborn lord still forcing me into government work? Darn this relentless old guy. He simply wouldn't quit. Suddenly, a village elder loudly gasped. Governor Yao of Yongshao, Yao Tianzhong. Oh my goodness. The absolute highest official in Yonghao. He controls literally every military and civilian affair. He's actually the Lord's master. An epic teacher creates legendary students. I just dramatically rolled my eyes internally. These guys hadn't explored the world. A governor basically mashed a state leader and military commander into one. But Yonghao was basically just a mid-sized region, covering Middle Shani and some of Gansu on older maps. Why all this crazy, intense excitement? The chief chimed in. Governor Yao is a legendary founding hero of Duxin, the emperor's absolute right hand, and our nation's premier medical genius. Meeting him is a total once-in-a-lifetime dream. The Lord smiled a bit sadly. He accepted only me as his final student, always claiming I continued his legacy. Yet I nearly lost my wife to illness. Without Mr. Sun, she wouldn't have survived. Suddenly, it all made perfect sense. The Lord was actually a doctor himself. That explains why he respectfully bowed to me immediately after examining his wife. He realized I genuinely healed her, not just pulling some flashy fake needle trick. In my letter, I heavily praised your elite medicine and heroic actions. The governor totally replied. He praised your skills too. He promised that on the 15th of the 8th month, he's visiting Hung County just to meet you. So what do you and I think? No government job. Awesome. I relaxed instantly. Sir, do you truly despise official positions that much? Absolutely. Why become an official? I refuse to wear chains. I totally despise faction wars. Scheming with stuffy politicians sounds incredibly boring, you know? Stick with me here. Taking office might not be your choice. He smiled, stroking his small beard. What does he mean? Because of the medicine and that epic bandit battle. Plus, you are incredibly young and truly gifted. Your medicines, tools, bombs, weapons, and plans. The choice is out of my hands. I cut him off. Sir, I am saying this again. I refuse to take office. Nobody can force me, right? I almost blurted out my real thoughts. With my overpowered system, I would only ever settle for being the absolute highest ruler. Why be some minor official? You are the local lord here. If you keep quiet, who is going to drag me into court? You are completely wrong, sir. Even if I stay totally silent, news of 0 losses against 500 bandits and your crazy weapons will spread. Chin spies are literally everywhere. My heart totally sank. Rumors fly fast. One person tells 10. 10 tell 100. Soon, the emperor himself will hear about it. He is no soft prince. He is a founder with serious power. I cannot hide forever. I need to get way stronger before then. Wait, the 15th of the 8th month. That is literally tomorrow. Yes. The big governor arrives in the morning. I counted the exact days. Tomorrow absolutely will not work. I promised my wives we would watch the moon together. The Lord was left totally speechless. I had a scholar title, but honestly, I was still just a regular peasant. Now watch this. The supreme military head of all, Yang Zhao, was coming to our tiny town just for me. And I refused. Nobody would believe it. The leader almost cried. Sanjian, the 15th day, moon is perfectly round. On the 16th, everyone watches the moon at night. What moon are you watching in the morning? Watch the moon? In a tough year like this, just having a full stomach was a true holiday. Meeting the governor was an absolutely massive opportunity. The Sun family village had not seen luck like this in decades. Maybe the royal court would finally notice them. And I simply refused without a second thought. The elders begged me. Sanjian, meet him in the morning. Watch the moon at night. No conflict at all. I gave them all a sharp look. Why not go yourselves? But I kept my mouth shut. The Lord noticed the heavy tension. How about this deal? I know you have insane skills and want to stay hidden from the world. But Governor Yao is a truly top-tier official. He is also my respected teacher. He has traveled so far. Could you meet him just this once? I promise to get you back by nightfall to watch the moon with your wives. The Lord asked so politely. If I actually refused him now, it would look completely heartless. He rode through the entire night just to save me. I had to show some basic respect back. Fine, I will meet him. The Lord smiled and ordered horses ready tonight. Yes, he arrives early in the morning. We cannot make him wait. Fine, then. So, my romantic time with Gai Jin would have to wait until the 15th. Husband, the noodles are finally ready. And so were the hot potatoes. Chu Ching Chang and Gi Jing walked in. One carried a bowl of hot noodles. The other held steamed potatoes. The amazing smell completely filled the entire room. So incredibly good. The leader and elders had never seen food like this. Their mouths instantly watered. What exactly is this? It smells amazing. The Lord was totally stunned. He gulped hard. This is instant noodles. This is a potato. Is this the amazing thing you mentioned earlier? Yes. I gave a hot potato to each of them. I even placed one in the Lord's hand. Try it. They simply could not hold back. They burned their mouths, but kept eating anyway. In mere moments, their potatoes were completely gone. They just stared at the bowl with starving eyes. I almost laughed. I know what you are thinking. Were they trying to eat all my food? No way. One taste was enough. Face given. The rest are for old Jalao Jiang, and go. They painfully forced their eyes away. I turned to ask the local lord. He had already crushed a whole bowl of noodles and potatoes. Way faster than the elders. So good. These are absolutely amazing. I was totally speechless. The leader too. Sorry, I am not even hungry. The food is just too good. Sweet, smooth, and bursting with flavor. I smiled proudly. You have great taste, sir. The potato is a brand new crop I created. It is just as good as wheat or rice, and super filling. Wait, what? You developed a totally new food? The Lord jumped up fast. He was literally stuttering. This was absolutely massive news. For thousands of years, humanity only ate wheat, rice, and a few small grains. Nobody in any era had ever invented a brand new staple crop. Smart scholars only brought new seeds from far away. If I truly created a new food, this alone put me above every single man in history. He gulped hard again. Not from hunger this time. Pure shock. I saw his look. You do not believe me. No, not that. This news is just way too big. If not me, who? Have you ever seen this before? I just shrugged. With my overpowered system, what could I not easily achieve? I used a super rare lottery poll for 100 bags of fine seeds. Basically every useful crop from my old world. And potatoes shocked them this much. Just wait until they see corn. Corn did not reach old China until the Ming Dynasty in 1531. This entire world had not seen it yet. They might actually pass out. How could I not believe it? How much does this magic potato yield? What kind of soil does it even need? He was a smart county lord. His questions hit the absolute key points. A normal potato gives 3,000 to 5,000 pounds per acre. But mine is a super potato. 8,000 to 10,000 per acre. How much? 10,000 per acre. Heavens, his hand shook. Soil? It grows underground, just like peanuts. Just dirt, cold or hot, no fertilizer, no watering. It still grows. Heavens, such an absolute wonder. Wait, what is a peanut? I rubbed my forehead. Another new crop I made. Trust me, you and I are going to love what happens next. Stick with me here. You and I know peanuts came from Ming history, which means this alternate world had absolutely none. This kingdom felt exactly like the late Tang era, but honestly, it was weird. Things that never existed back then randomly popped up here. The Lord totally ignored the peanuts. He just wanted the growing time. I guessed 1 month, but boom, 10 days later, they were fully ready. 20 days is plenty. Plant them anytime. Hot or cold, totally fine. Heavens, that guy gasped again. The elders jumped up too, calling it a holy miracle. I just rubbed my forehead. It is a simple crop. I can make many. Nothing special. Stop making a big fuss. My calm words did not change their shock. My 3 wives laughed quietly. Their husband had way weirder powers than this. They basically believed I could do anything now. Why? Because I was basically a god on earth. The Lord breathed fast. Sir, can I see that potato again? Sure. I handed him one. He held it like a baby, completely shaking. Walking into the yard, he dropped to his knees and raised it to the sky. Heaven shows mercy. Mr. Sun, you are a man sent from above. With food like this, our people will never go hungry. Our kingdom will rise. I leaned against the doorway, mouth wide open. He is genuinely a good Lord. Then the elders knelt down too. Heaven blesses us. A miracle worker here. No more hunger. I felt dizzy. I literally just grew a potato. I am standing right here. Why are you all kneeling to the sky? Standing up. The Lord walked over to me, eyes absolutely shining. Sir, since the beginning of time, food is everything to the people. With 4 kingdoms constantly at war, and disasters striking, people suffer. Heaven could not bear it. So, it sent you. And this absolute miracle. This is pure destiny. Sir, please stop. My head is going to explode from all this praise. Smiling, he pivoted. Sir, when I return, I am sending soldiers to guard your village, so you can safely grow your first massive batch of potatoes. Please agree. I hesitated. Soldiers. Now pay attention. You and I know, being watched like this, even by a good Lord, only brings us massive trouble. I had no money or an army. I could not reveal too much yet, but those potatoes were already planted in the ground. Even without the Lord today, grain day was fast approaching. The secret was getting out regardless. I had planned for this exact moment. Without me, they could not grow this crop. As long as I safely hold the seedling secret, absolutely no one could threaten me. Fine, but remember, we are dangerously close to the Dijo border. Do not let this news spread. Sir, I know the high stakes. Trust me. Good. Walking out, I immediately called old Xia and Lao Jiang. Since I might leave with the Lord and not return until tomorrow night, I gave my strict orders. Grain day was coming, so old Xiao needed to dig up that first batch of potatoes. Save some for my wives to create seedlings. Tell Zhao Weiner, Chu Qing Chong, and Gi Jin to handle all the seedling work down in the cellar. This seedling method must remain a secret. Plant the new shoots on our current land first, then expand out to the new wild land. Get those yields high. The rest goes to the workers as their share, plus some extra grain saved. Gaian's plan stayed exactly the same. Lead villagers with solid aim into the hills to hunt and fish. Better food for workers, while soldiers patrolled the area too. Beggars would never steal the crops again. Sir, let Lao Jiang handle the farm work. Please, let me come with you into the city. You and I saw this coming, right? The Lord calls him sir. So old Zhao switches too. Why so formal? He is visiting an office, not raiding a bandit camp. But I patted his shoulder. Soldiers protect the road, guard my house and my wives. That is much more important. He was fiercely loyal and wanted to guard me, but a simple peasant walking around with bodyguards would look ridiculous. I went to the city with the Lord. By evening, we reached his home. I had barely slept in days, so the long travel was totally exhausting. I went straight to bed. I skipped the special meal prepared by the Lord's wife. Both the Lord and his wife quietly stood by my bed. She tucked the blanket back over me. Wife, the servants can handle this. It is fine. Without him, I would be entirely lost. Yes, Mr. Sun is an absolute wonder. Every medicine in the world is nothing compared to him. With just one new method, he made me feel like a tiny beginner student. remembering how I only used a few special needles to cure his wife completely without any extra medicine. He felt deeply and truly humble. I cooked all that food, but he could not eat. I have not even thanked him in person yet. There is time. Let him rest. I have some papers to write tonight. They closed the door softly. Husband, is he truly that great? Yes, far more than great. He is no normal man. This entire world might change completely because of him. What will you do? Hongnong is dangerously close to Dao, just 300 kilometers. We are at war, so trouble could strike any time. This news cannot stay hidden long. I must prepare. Mr. Sun's safety matters the most. Every day he stays here worries me. Tomorrow is too late. I already wrote my report. I will send it to Governor Yao tonight. He will rush it straight to the Emperor, and the Emperor will act. Will Mr. Sun blame us? You said he hates politics. It must be done. If Deho or Da find out first, his life is in grave danger. So what do you and I make of this? He finally wakes up to a new robe and mooncakes. But trust me, the real journey begins now. Jump in with me. This new outfit was way better. Why ever reject free premium gear? A servant knocked. Sir, you finally woke up. The Lord wants you in the study immediately. Our VIP guest is actually here. Wait, he is here already? She nodded. It is already noon, sir. The governor definitely arrived super early this morning. He heard I was asleep and just waited for hours? That is genuinely so weird. The Lord's estate was extremely tiny anyway. The study was nearby. Inside, Governor Yao and the Lord were playing chess. Both stood and bowed, so I bowed back. Governor, so sorry. I crashed hard and completely overslept. Did I make you wait long? Not at all. I explicitly ordered them not to wake you. This is strictly an unofficial visit. Waiting a few hours is nothing. Have a seat. After you, Governor. One glance at Governor Yao, instantly I knew this guy was entirely different from the Lord. He had a square face, massive eyes. He was older, maybe pushing 60, with white hair and a matching beard, but stood perfectly tall, radiating incredibly sharp energy. Seriously, he looked exactly like a legendary movie star from my previous life. We chatted effortlessly like old pals. From local culture to poetry, Yao constantly hyped me up. Yet, he completely ignored my potatoes, weapons, explosives, and medical skills. He never offered a government job either. Watch closely, this is where it gets highly suspicious. He played nice, so I stayed quiet. The weirdest part? His extremely humble act. He literally called himself lowly, and actually called me sir. His rank was second highest, the emperor's high minister, Yonghao's absolute governor, and the prince's tutor. Me, a broke peasant with an empty house, zero land, starving every single day. In this strict social hierarchy, our status gap was massive. The Lord acting super friendly? That absolutely made sense. But the governor too? Why? After 2 hours, the Lord said to eat. He booked a premium spot at the famous Gatherworthy Tower. We headed out together. By mid-afternoon, starving, I wolfed down my food. Drinks flowed fast, and after several rounds, the sky outside faded to black. Looking at the round moon, the governor grew poetic. Silver moonlight splashes the starry river, and the gentle willow shadows fade. Cold wind brushes the face as winter quietly arrives. The lonely lamp does not need any precious jade to shine brightly. The moon goddess must be looking into her mirror. The Lord downed his drink. What a wonderful poem. He genuinely praised the governor with raw excitement. Internally, I rolled my eyes. That counted as a poem? Average tier at best. Did they not know any real poetry? Then again, Yao was a soldier first. This was decent for him. But the Lord acted exactly like a clueless village elder. Empty praise. Sir, the Lord poked me. What? Yes. Here. What are you thinking? Oh, about the governor's new poem. You and I know this is super awkward, right? I forced a flat smile. Good. Very good. Classic fake praise. Everyone instantly felt the cringe. My poem could be better. Would Mr. Sun give advice? The governor was not angry. He actually asked for my honest comments. I shot the Lord a sharp glance. Governor, your verses were fine. Before I could finish, the Lord interrupted, completely assuming I was just being modest. Teacher, Mr. Sun holds a scholar's title. He definitely has brilliant thoughts on poetry. Why not have him recite a poem? Today is the moon festival. I glared hard at him. You sneaky old man. Why hear words I never even said? Yes, Mr. Son, please. A poem marking our meeting. The governor agreed before I could refuse. I was absolutely trapped. Now, panic mode activated. I could memorize poetry, but writing it? Nope. Wait. Memorize? Oh yeah. Time to steal masterpieces from my old world. Nobody here knew Li Bai, Du Fu, or Su Shi. I could absolutely copy them. Dian had strong warriors, but truly awful poetry. Few famous poets. People in Zhou and Da called us northern savages. The emperor hated this pain. Fine, then I will try. Holding my wine cup, I stood by the window, staring at the bright moon. I built up the dramatic vibe. Copying poems requires serious acting. Just blurting it out would look completely fake. After a long pause, I closed my eyes and slowly downed my cup. Trust me, you will love this. I swayed my shoulders, fully ready to steal Sushi's water melody. When was there ever a bright moon? I lifted my drink to the moon. When was there ever a bright moon? I lift my cup to ask the sky.